All right, we're live. We kept them waiting for 2 minutes. They all took off. It's Sunday afternoon / evening for some people / I guess afternoon for people from Hawaii and other parts of the country / world. It could be I don't know. It could be closing time. So, hey, welcome everybody. We got a couple of folks in here before we kind of do shout outs and evenings and hellos and all that stuff. What we will do is I'll go through a recap of my week. I've had a tough week, just not for trading, but just work wise. I had all intentions of joining the Discord chat on Thursday, and 6 o'clock we planned on doing a proactive reboot of a system at the customer site, and it just went it just went sideways and was DU, which is called data unavailable. For I didn't finish until 2:30 in the morning, so it was a critical situation because we don't, the last thing we want is a DL situation, which is data loss. So I pretty much, it screwed my whole night up. Didn't even get to go to whole paycheck and go shopping. So I had to go on What Friday, and anyways. And then, as Gerry knows, I had my power go out twice today, and it screwed the boot disk of my VMware ESX host up, so I couldn't get to the internet and had to reload ESX and all that stuff and blah blah blah. So I got the bare bones up right now, so I can at least get the internet up. So let me just talk about my week in general. My week for options was pretty good, even though it's kind of been hands off and stuff. But I also ran into a slight issue, so I'm going to kind of talk about it because Gerry doesn't know about it yet, and maybe he'll get to maybe he'll understand what I'm talking about because maybe he's running into something.
I know what you're talking about. I already know.
I don't know if you know, but let's okay. So let's see here. For last week, I brought in basically $1,200 in P&L. That's realized. All right. Average days held 15, 16 days, something like that. The top position was SPY, Deere, Microsoft, Lowe's, QQQQ. So I'm up $4,100 for the month so far, and we have basically 3 days next week. So I'll probably take a little bit more profit there. Probably be up around 4,500 is my guess, somewhere around there, maybe 46. Honestly, I'm not trying to, just get the most profit for that month and then drain out the next month, right? I'm going to take the stuff that is say, hey, Dave, take me off. I'm at 60, 70%. I do have a MasterCard sitting at 69% right now. So I could take that off for another $129. But so as it stands right now, 33.5% buy-in power usage with about $6,000 in short premium. And I do have a spread on right now as well on Adobe. I'm basically been testing a lot of that stuff out just to reduce that buy-in power. And I'm loving that new strategy. So I do have some long premium as well sitting out there, $440. So let me see, put long. So where's the short at? So yeah, the short's at 293 and the put long is at 220. So, and I put 2 of those contracts on. So I've been kind of liking that, honestly, and I actually updated the script to account for those bag orders. So I'm kind of happy about that. So the issue that I did run into, and I'm not really sure if Gerry even knows, but how can I get back to, okay, there we go. Well, first of all, I didn't realize that those weeklies didn't come out until like 5 weeks, right? That was kind of new because I was like, why aren't they showing up in my damn scanner? What the hell's going on here, So the thing that I did notice is, Gerry, is the fact that the strike selections are terrible. That's what I did notice. So if you do take off, whatever you do take off the week before, it's like, the regular scheduled, monthly or whatever, you might not have that selection in the next following week, which kind of sucks. So with those slightly, I would call less stellar positions, right? The SPYs, the QQQ should be fine, but it's those smaller stuff that we do, right? I'm just trying to use an example here. I can't remember what I put on. I have to look here. Let's see here. I threw on XOP. That's out to 820. NVIDIA out to 820. The Microsoft I could get to 8.6. But the 8.6, where I've been trying to throw, because that one just opened up, you just couldn't throw everything out there. It's just the strike selection just wasn't low enough. So that was kind of a bummer. So that's something I kind of learned that was new a little bit. I don't want to go all the way out to 820, which is the normal scheduled, monthly. So that's kind of a bummer, and it's something I'm gonna have to maybe change the strategy a little bit. Because not everything is I'm gonna want to put out to all the way to the next month, which is in this case 55, 60 days out. So that's how my week went. Right now, as it stands, I do have $1,100 in unrealized gains that I could take off. 31 positions open with 47 contracts total. So that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions about anything I said, and also kind of going to get Gerry's update here, and maybe he can, confirm that's what he ran into or not. So go ahead and take it away, Gerry.
Yeah, week was great. It even though I took a day off from my job, which is trading options, and we moved. Well, we didn't move. We went to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, rode some roller coasters, and ate some crappy food and all that kind of good stuff, and drove too much, but that was good. But so I didn't do anything on that day. I just don't trust myself on the mobile app for interactive brokers, so I didn't want to mess with it. So I just let everything run. But Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday did pretty well. Ended up taking off $719.75 in realized profit for those 4 days. And I put on $842.69 in premium. Wow. Now, I wish I was able to put on more. I'm having a hard time putting on more, and that kind of alludes to what Dave is talking about there, in that, like, for instance, I had an overstock put that I had down at like $66, I believe it was. But if I go out and try to go out 45 days, there might be a 45-dayer out there, but the lowest strike is like 80 something. And I'm like, what the heck? There's no way I'm going to be selling this thing. So I have to go either further out or a week before to get the good strikes. And actually, Overstock's probably a bad example, because a lot of their weeks are like that in the 80s, which doesn't make any sense. But so I put on, I didn't put on enough stuff. I'm only running about 25% buying power at the moment, which is quite low. But I still have $3,000 in premium cooking for July. And so I really need to get some out there a little bit more. But Dave's 100% right. If you're going long dated stuff, it gets kind of hard, because when they put that next week out that you want, the strikes aren't all filled in, and there's not a lot of volume there either yet. So it's kind of hard to even go there. I don't know. I was just looking at individual stocks. I don't know if that was the case with the indexes or ETFs, but
I didn't run any issues with those.
Yeah, I figured. But yeah, I'm having actually the exact same issue. So
that's very surprising that you knew what I was talking about.
It was frustrating.
About it at all, and I've been pretty much MIA for the last few days. So
it was frustrating. It was frustrating trying to put stuff on. I ended up putting stuff on that was like, 35 days, and it is what it is.
I might have to adjust the strat. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think once I get that other big chunk of cash put in the account, I'm probably just going to end up doing indexes mostly anyway.
Yeah.
SPY and QQQ. Actually, I might even do PMCCs on them. I don't know. We'll see. If I can eke out $5,000 with 500 grand sitting in there, I'm happy with that, right? Like it's just, it'd be a lot safer, and it's systematic too, right? Like I don't have to think about it. I can actually run the Theta Gang bot if I want to. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not like one of those people that says, oh, I gotta make 2% a month. It's like I'm not one of those people that needs to do that. 2% should be okay, but if I can make the same amount of money with a lot less risk, right?
Yeah, I'm also trying to get into credit spreads. Me, it's tough for me to define risk stuff, and the credit spreads you kind of have to fly closer to that strike price or to the share price to really make the impact. I think with portfolio margin, it's different. Yeah. But for a standard account, you really have to be careful. So I'm running an Amazon spread right now, and we'll see how that goes. I noticed I did have a Kimberly Clark spread on that I had on for like 3 weeks, and that sucker just moved slow as hell, and it frustrated me. So I got out of it. And I'm going to try it with Amazon because it's probably a better stock to do a spread like that. Maybe it'll move a little faster. I don't know. But that was my gripe with it, is that it moves so slow. So we'll see if Amazon's different.
Yeah. Amazon should be better for you. I got one on. Like I said, I mostly just tested my script out. But, I was on Adobe, 15 wide. That's not normally something I do. But, for me, all I care about is getting the short put right wherever I want it, right? I'm not going to make an adjustment just because I'm doing a spread. I'm going to put the short put where I want it, regardless if I was going to put a spread on or not. And then I might put the spread on just to reduce the buying power. So that's just me. So maybe by the end of the year or so, you'll have portfolio margin. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Probably.
Let's do some hellos here. We got Michael Kruger in the house here.
Any relation to Freddie?
Yeah, Freddie. Let's see. I'll buy LLY tomorrow morning. What's going on with Eli Lilly?
Eli.
A stock watch. Hey, from Deal, New Jersey. Dofi.
They making deals in New Jersey?
New Jersey. Dolph. Ziegler. We got Rebecca. She sent me an Instagram too. It's in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So I felt very special too. Called me Hot Dave and everything. Welcome, Rebecca. Let's see here. Grateful Man. I sent you an email. Check your email that you just sent me, because I just sent the spreadsheet update to you. Let's see here. MDB. See where is your hair, Gerry?
It's in the drain. It's in the drain.
It's in the drain. Gerry, you shaved. Yeah, he was looking pretty rough too.
I really was.
Not only was the tooth, it was.
Last week the tooth was just killing me. You guys don't understand.
Which tooth was it? Was it way back there?
It's right. It's like
Otherwise, I'd yank that damn thing out.
Yeah, I struggled through last week's stream. I really, really did. Y'all don't understand how much pain I was in last week. I was supposed to get into the dentist this Friday. They ended up giving me some antibiotics and painkillers, and I guess the infection went down, and I feel better now, but I can still feel it. It's there. But I was scheduled for a dentist appointment on this past Friday at 2:00. I go there, they're freaking closed. I'm like, what the?
That's bullshit right there.
This is crap. So I'm gonna have to reschedule it.
Drive down there, wear a freaking mask in your car when you're driving. Right.
My wife is guessing that it was a new girl that scheduled it and didn't realize that they closed early on Fridays or something like
You
that.
know what? I'd go in there and demand a free root canal now.
Right?
I've had 2 root canals, by the way. One was not really my fault, by the way. No, I've had 2, and one was done on the wrong tooth, so I had to have another one.
Oh,
So yeah, um, yeah, that sucks. But let's see here. Hey, Marcus Scrape, what's going on, buddy? Let's see. Yeah, he shaved. We got Jerry's wife in the house. Jerry's best friend in the house.
this is true.
Yeah, she's basically getting upset at what I said, but yeah, I don't know you personally. You don't really ever come on the camera, so Jerry's best friend. We got Jet Sting, great boy. Greetings, boys. Welcome back from your camping trip.
Jet
Let's
Sting.
see.
Is that a Mustang with a jet engine in it?
No, that's a Porsche tachometer.
Ah,
You don't recognize that? I've owned a
I'm
Porsche for a couple of years, and that's a
not
Porsche.
going to recognize Porsche. I'll recognize Ford.
Yeah, the funny thing is, the dash head in a Porsche hasn't changed in the last 20 plus years. The key is on the left because it's set up for Le Mans, right? You get in and like you don't have to reach all the way over here to turn on, like it's right here, right? So, and the same thing, the dash is really set up for racing. So, it's one of the best laid out dashes in the world, in my opinion, right into the cars. But he shaved and showered. I call it shit showered and shaved, by the way.
I
SS.
actually did that too.
There you go. That's what we
So
call
you
the
know.
military. Shit shower and shave. In SOS is shit on the shingles. That was toast with gravy on it. Shit on the shingles. Time to get some of those Tesla lithium batteries for power outages. The power is very good here usually, but I live near a substation. And I'll tell you what, the power goes out here at least once to twice a year, which is very, very rare for Colorado. My other house that I lived in, I could probably count on, in 4 years it went out maybe once. Yeah. So it don't matter. Blizzards, tornadoes, don't matter.
I rarely get.
All the wires are underground here in Colorado, at least in most parts.
I'm really surprised that we don't get power outages where I'm at, as far as the heat is concerned. But within a mile, not even a mile. There's a big hospital there and another big hospital there. So I'm wondering if that has.
They all have generators.
Yeah, they all have their
battery
own
banks
thing,
and then generators, and they're humongous.
but it's just we never have power outages. Seems weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're just moving all the power to the hospitals. So we got Mikaru. She's here. What's going on? You at work? Welcome, Mikaru. Slow but still learning. Hey, this is a good way to learn.
That's it.
I'm going to do a couple of shout outs here in a bit as well once I get through the list here, if I can make it through the list. We got Mommy Trader. Go ahead and check out Mommy Trader's channel. She's chasing fire. I think she's got like 6 years left, her and her family. So it's a family that's chasing fire, and they're knocking it out of the park. So if you're into that type of content, that fire type content, her and, I guess Rebecca's chasing fire. You got Road to Fire, all great channels. Follow those channels because they're documenting their journey. And I mean, now I'm at the later stage of my journey, right? So you might not get as, you'll get something still from what I'm talking about. But if you're trying to, kind of start out where people are still, maybe in the midst or in the middle of it or just starting out, go check those channels out, right? I'm hoping to share some stuff that a lot of channels haven't shared because there's not many channels that have gone through it. Like Art's Journey, for example, they don't share everything. Their channel kind of got pushed from a national, the network like ABC or something like that. So that's how they grew very fast, but they don't share everything, right? And they were at the very end of the stages too. They kind of did do a video, I think, where they kind of talked about how they got where they were at, right? And what they did was they sacrificed a lot. Like Not everybody's willing to do what they did. And honestly, what they did is very smart, but not every family is willing to do that. So what they did is they found distressed houses, moved in there, lived in there. I believe they flipped the houses while they were living there, which is very tough to do. Lived in it for 2 years, I think, so wouldn't have to pay capital gains, and then sold it, and then did the same thing. Just kept doing that over and over and over, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very great strategy, by the way. It's not for the faint of heart, though. Imagine having a kitchen that's temporary, right? Like a sink that's sitting over here, and an oven that's sitting over here. Everything's just temporary. It's not an easy way to live, but I'll tell you what, that's what it takes if you want to do it in 10 years. If you don't have a high income, that could be a way to go for you. If you're a family, look, there is no shortcut, right? I even got called privileged last week in my comments because of the video I put out. Oh, you make this amount, you're privileged. And it's like, I went to school my entire life at nighttime while I worked full time during the day. How is that being privileged, right? I just don't understand. There is no excuse. Look, you're going to have to put the work in, right? Yes, maybe you don't make as much. Maybe you have a family that both you make 60 grand each, right? That's 120 grand. You can do a lot with that, right? That's not a lot of money nowadays, I don't think, for most jobs. I mean, if minimum wage is $15 an hour in a lot of areas, right? I think it's not unheard of to make 60 grand. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I'm just saying you have to put the work in. There is no shortcut at all. And this is kind of a segue because, I was going through a lot of Gerry's comments, and he has a great following for what he is doing, right? The Retire with Less series, okay? He's touched a lot of people. He's got a lot of people following that series, and there's a lot of people that resonate with what Gerry's doing and what he's saying, right? People that might not have more than $250,000 when they retire. Now, I think honestly, most people are just underestimating their potential because I've been through it, right? Mm-hmm. I guarantee you these people are probably going to have double to maybe 3 times what they think they're going to have. In general, most people are going to end up that way. But still, what he's doing, people are resonating with it. And I can learn a lot from what Gerry's doing here and what people are saying in his comments, right? Because I'm at a different stage than Gerry is. I'm at a different stage of what a lot of his followers are after, right? So maybe I can't relate to some of these other people, but reading some of those comments there, I can relate better, right? I can understand what they're going through. But to call me privileged, I think this is just total BS. Now, in the defense of that person that said that, they're from another country. And, honestly, I don't know this, how all countries work and all that stuff. They said they got taxed a lot. But, honestly, if you get taxed a lot, then you probably have a lot of benefits too. In this country, we get taxed a lot, but we don't really have any benefits. That's just the way I put it. I don't have free healthcare, right? But I pay a boatload in taxes. I don't really see money back in taxes. But over those other countries, you might get taxed 30% or whatever, but you're going to get a lot of money back, at least free healthcare and stuff like that. But anyways, and we also just shout out Thumper as well. He put out a great video this weekend on spreads and stuff, and he's kind of, he's resonating with a lot of people as well. So I'm going to try to get some more guests lined up. Now, granted, next weekend is July 4th on Sunday, even though it's not the holiday technically. So I don't know how much following we're going to have next week, but so I probably won't try to get a guest next week, but I'm going to try to line one up the week after. So hopefully, and let me just say this before I'll turn over to Gerry if he has any Gerry. Before he has anything to say, and there's a lot more shout outs I got to do as well, but look, if you don't like what we're talking about, ask questions, dictate what we say, change the conversation. Okay. We're here to answer questions. It's your time. So ask questions, dictate what we're going to say, what we're going to talk about. Right. So there's some people that don't like what we're doing. Don't like what we're saying. Right. Either don't watch it or have us change the conversation. Simple as that. Yeah. All right. Gerry, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just appreciate that recognition there, because it's one of my favorite series as far as Retire with Less. It really it touches me, because there are a lot of people that do reach out and they say, you're inspiring, right? And so it's really awesome, because I believe that there's a lot of people just like me that started late, only making $45,000, right? And the thing is you can do it. You just have to start. I mean, 2018, we were, I want to say $50,000 in debt, negative 50,000, no savings, no nothing, and here it is 2021, and we're over six figures saved. So, and if you if you went and looked at our 1040s, you'd laugh. You would straight up laugh, because it's like, there's no way. But you just have to work on it. If you work on it, keep learning. Look, this is your money. This is your life. This is your life. If you can't just throw your hands up in the air and just say, I'll just work till I die. No, you have to figure this out. There's no one that's going to do it for you. Just like you said with being privileged. No one did that for you. You did that on your own.
You didn't build that.
You didn't build that.
I love that comment.
So, I mean, you got to do it. It's once you start, take the step, you take another step, you take another step. Next thing you know, you're in control and you're growing. So, that's.
I think a lot of people use it as a crutch, honestly, because I've seen it many a time. A lot of people use it as a crutch, right? Like, I don't make enough, and it's like, that's not the problem. I mean, granted, if you're 45, 50 years old, look, you're not going to probably most likely be able to retire early, most likely, right? But they're looking for some sort of, like holy grail pixie dust or something, like some shortcut. There is no shortcut, like it is what it is. Like if you start at 18 years old, you make $40,000 your entire life, right? You're probably going to be fine. But if you're 45, 50 years old, and you make 40 grand and you're trying to fire in 7 years, it's probably not going to happen.
It's going to be extremely tough for sure.
Exactly.
But you got to work with what you got too. You got to figure it out. I mean, there's ways to cut expenses and cut debt.
That's the problem, though. Too many people focus on the income. Look, what can you do right now? You can cut expenses, right? Yep. Getting higher income is going to take longer. You can go into your work the very next work day and say, hey, you know what, you piece of shit boss, give me a freaking raise. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you can ask. The answer is always going to be no if you don't ask, right? Yep. So, but what can you do this literally the next second? Cut expenses, right? Yep. It doesn't matter how much you make if you spend it all, okay? You make $100,000 and you spend it all, and that person that making 40 saves $20,000, who's better off, right? So yep. I think it's just interesting that they use it as a crutch, though. Somebody watched the video and basically said, well, I got to make $170,000 a year. And it's like, no, you don't. It would help, obviously, but not everybody's going to be in that boat, right? I started late, and imagine if somebody started when they're 25 and they make half as much. They're probably going to be better off, a lot better off. So it's all a matter when you start. Now, granted, if you start when you're 45, 50 years old, like it's better than not starting, right?
Exactly.
It's just, don't underestimate your power. Like, I mean, Gerry here is a good example. Taking this options thing seriously, even changed his hours he got up. And we didn't see Gerry until like 9:30 in the afternoon and shit.
This is true. I used to sleep in.
I'm like, Gerry, if you're serious, you got to start getting up at 6:25 a.m. If you don't want to get up that early, move to the East Coast.
And that's where my alarm is set, 6:25. And I stumble right to this computer and I'm like trying to log into stuff and got to do it.
Man. Let's get through some stuff here. We got Damien. Good evening. Any thoughts on when to stop rolling up / out? For example, I've rolled CCs in Fubo. What the hell's Fubo?
Is that Fubo TV?
Oh, is that the streaming service?
Yeah. Where's it at right now? I don't even know.
You're right. It is Fubo TV. It's at 34. Huh. It's got a
Oh,
very high short flow. It's probably freaking short squeezing.
covered call. It's a covered call, though. I mean,
Yeah, cover call. Let it go.
let it go.
Let it go.
Especially something like that.
I hope it's above your cost basis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It did have a run up.
Yeah. Is it above your cost basis? Is Dolph? I hope so. Let it go if it is. Get the hell out of that damn thing. It's short squeezing, I think. That thing will just run, but at least it's a CC. But hopefully it's above his cost basis. Oh shit! I skipped a bunch here. Holy cow! Oh shit! I'm way off, Gerry.
Yeah, we are.
Richard. Yeah. So what I noticed is a lot of people that are in my comments they're more of in a boat that I'm in. So, and I would like to honestly, touch those people that are in Gerry's boat, but they probably don't resonate a lot with what I'm saying. So, that's fine. I just didn't know that's how it worked. When I first started YouTube, I thought people would, it makes sense. I guess no, I guess not. If I was following people, I'd be like, oh, okay, this is how I got there, blah, blah, blah. I'm a monkey see, monkey do type of person. So,
See, that's interesting, though, because when I found your channel, I was like, ooh, I like this. And it resonated with me, even though you were like, 10 times, 20 times further ahead than I was. But it was like, okay, how did he get there? So that's where I just,
yeah, I think it's a case by case, person by person basis. Not everybody's going to resonate. The people that are not in my boat may not resonate with what I say. Some might, right? Like to me, if I was, because I know how I operate, right? If I would, me watching somebody else that did it, like they already gave you a pathway to do it, right? And there's a bunch of different pathways. That's it. Like Richard's got a different example. Mike's got a different example. There's a bunch of other people that have examples that got to exactly where I'm at, but a completely different path. That's what the great thing about it is, right? So, yeah, Gerry's talked about his tooth. It's cheaper to just get it yanked, but if it's a front tooth, maybe not. Let's see here. We got this thumper. Let's see, 3K is still a lot of cooking. Yeah, it is, especially for Gerry's account size. That's a lot. I got 6K, and that's hard. Wow, 35%, about 33% used. Got Stock Ninja in the house here. I don't know how much he's got cooking. Let's see here. I think with IV getting so low, PMCCs are going to become my go-to. Just curious, Thumper, have you looked at doing PMCCs on like SPY and QQQQ? That might be something I'm going to look at doing down the road. Let's see here. We got James. Let's see. I think you want to be careful just doing the indexes when they're so low. Yeah, because you sold something cheap. I'm still, I still do the indexes. I'm just trying to think of what. Let me see. 9% probability. Yeah, that was on QQQ. So yeah, I'm trying to stick around that 10% probability now. So I bumped it up from 5 to 10. So it's still days safe in my opinion. Yeah, I've had no problems taking stuff off early, honestly. My problem is like trying to keep it on longer. That's been my problem. Like, I should let this bake longer, but I just, I got to take some stuff off. Man, I got to take some shit off.
Yeah, and putting shit on is a little harder.
Yeah, but when the market's flying, like right now, SPY and QQQQ all-time highs.
Yeah.
We're not. I mean, so I still think we're legging up, but who knows? I just take some stuff off. Have some buying power ready just in case. Low IV markets, PMCs. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Honestly, I'm just happy with my current leaps. Yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of staying away from leaps lately. I don't know why. I do feel special. Not special Eddie, but short bus special. So let's see here. I've done put credit spreads on Netflix, BA, and DE primarily to reduce buying power, but still prefer CSP. Yeah, I do too. It just depends. Not everything I've been doing credit spreads on lately. It's just because I've been trying to test out my new script. But shut it. She must be talking to Gerry. Um, let's see here. Any update on your notes? Are you going cap your options account? Yeah. Um, the options account probably capped at 500K, but it won't stay there most likely just because if I ever bought a house or something like that, I'd probably put half down or something like that. And people were saying, "Well, why are you going to do that when you just put 20% down?" Well, you got to understand, folks. I'm not going to have a job, and I don't know if the bank would even give me a loan. So my guess is they'll give me at least, if I put 50% down, why wouldn't they? They'd be dumb not to do a loan,
Yeah.
right? So that's just the
Well,
way
I
I'm
don't
thinking
know.
at it.
I would think you'd be, well, just depends on how much dividend income you got coming in.
Well, I have enough.
I would think that would count.
Well, I don't know. So I'm just, I have enough to pay cash for the house and still have an options account. So I'm good either way. But I'd rather keep the options account and then put, the minimum down on the house, right? Because I can make way, way more money on the options account.
And then
So,
then you don't have to decide between 30 and 50 amp.
oh, Gerry. Yeah, I'm gonna put that up for auction. uh,
Uh,
Gerry. As far as contributions go, the notes are doing fine, by the way. Um, yeah, still getting about 6.9% or something like that across all the notes, at least in the taxable side. The tax deferred side's higher than that. Still like $450,000 in those, and I don't know, who knows. People said, "Why are you going to get out of notes completely?" And well, they're just not liquid. You know, why did I get out of rentals? If people don't even really realize that I had rentals for like a better part of a decade. I'm never going back to rentals ever again. Just, it's not, ugh. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. It's a good way to go for some people, but it's not the right way for me. I like to be liquid. Let's see here. As far as this, yeah. Glad to see you. Let's see here. What is it? Is this a new one? Matt.
that
First
is,
time.
yeah.
Okay, first time joining. Let's see. Can you talk about IB effect on premium and sweet spot for selling premium? Gerry, you want to take that one? Come on, Gerry. Come on, Cletus.
Well, IV high and premium goes higher. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know what the sweet spot
I
would
don't
be.
know what a sweet spot is. I don't. So ideally, we kind of want the VIX to be around 20. 20 to 25 is ideal, somewhere around there. And I think the VIX, let's see what the VIX sitting at right now.
It's under that.
VIX,
Wait,
yeah, the VIX Vapor Rub is sitting at 1560
yeah.
right now. So that's the reason why, that it's a little bit tougher to get premium. Like the beginning of this year, my account was like $150,000. I was making like $6,000 a month in options, and now it's like the account's like not quite double, but better part than double, right? Plus that portfolio margin turned on, and I'm squeaking out like $4,000 or $5,000 now. So the premium is definitely affected, and that's because IV or the VIX have dropped.
Yeah, I got to
Um,
work harder. It seems like I'm working harder, if you
Yeah.
want to
So
call it
what I
that.
would say, as far as sweet spot, I would say the sweet spot is the VIX between 20 and 25. That's the sweet spot. I don't know what the sweet spot for the IV is. I don't even look at IV rank or anything really like that anymore. If somebody knows the answer to, or if there actually is a way to answer that, put it in the comments. So we're talking
I
like
think,
Thumper, James,
yeah,
whatnot.
I think James would have a good answer for that one.
So hey, Matt, join the Discord. One of the mods, put the Discord in the chat. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. So you can ask questions like that in there. There's people a lot smarter than me, maybe not quite as smart as Gerry, but that are in there. So Gerry corrected my spelling and stuff. Okay, Dave, I am privileged because I get to learn from you and Gerry during awesome stream. My apologies to anyone who might be offended. Look, that actually could be considered privilege, and that's okay to be called that privileged, right? I think. Um, Look, dude, you can come hang out here anytime you want. You know, you can ask questions. You can tell us what you want to talk about. You know, so we're just happy you're here. So welcome, Knight Rider. See here. You had the privilege of actually making correct educational choices. Um, you know what I would say to this, and now, granted, I could say I'm probably gifted. I'm gifted in my knowledge and what I do for a living. My brain is wired for what I do. So it really had nothing to do with education. Now, the education got me a higher paycheck. I could do, look, people don't realize this. I didn't really learn but maybe 5% of what I do at school, okay, college. You can't learn what I do in college, by the way. I learned a little bit of stuff in college along the way, but honestly, all that mattered to me was those diplomas or degrees. That's all that mattered to me because that got me a higher paycheck, right? You can't learn what I do in college. So, what I would say just to this real quick thing here is I really didn't go to school until I was older. So, that was a little bit of a kind of a thing there where I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to go to school for versus a lot of people are kind of forced to go to school, you know, and they're not really sure what they're doing. They're pretty much going there to have fun, if you know what I mean. So I was a lot older when I started going to school, and so I knew what I wanted to do, and it was just about really getting. I was already doing it before I was going to school, so that kind of, you know, to me, it was just about getting those degrees. But I'm just whole different. I'm not a typical person. Joined the military at 27, okay? Literally the oldest fart in basic training. So I'm just not really a typical case. Mommy Trader, I don't know if you do options or not. I just have to check out your videos and see if you are. If you're not, check into start doing some options. I know you have an IB account. IB account would be perfect for it. Let's see here. Mr. Kite. Mr. Kite. Let's see here. Where do you even buy kites anymore, Gerry?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody.
Get them at like Walmart and stuff?
I think they might have a little small section.
God, we used to. I'll tell you, man, these kids these days are just deprived. We used to go into, it didn't matter what Kmart, it didn't matter what store we went in, die-cast cars, models plastic that you put together and stuff. We used to have like tons of freaking gun selections and stuff in there, play toy, cap guns, and these kids are deprived. Gerry freaking sent me a photo of a cap gun. He's like, yeah, I think Gen X and olders understand what these are. And I'm like, oh, it's a cap gun.
Yeah, I shared it with my son. And he was like, because I just showed him the roll. It was the paper roll of the cap. And I showed it to him. I'm like, do you know what these are? He's all, I have no idea. I'm like, dang, I'm old.
I'm like, oh, that's a cap gun, man. We said, pop, 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 pop. Oh, it was the best thing ever. Oh man, the thing is, I can't even believe our parents let us play with stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Because you can do some damage. Because you could build those up and make them even bigger.
It's not even that, but just having a gun these days, like in a neighborhood, you know what I mean, is dangerous. Yeah. Because those things look real. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh man, we got Matt Money in the house. Oh, Shion, Davey and Gio, the big screen. What's up, Matt? I missed your stream on Friday. Sorry, man. That Thursday night just screwed me up. I missed everything. I'll go back and watch Kyle. I did say, I do have a Kyle hair going on my video, but
you got to go back up. You got to go back up, Dave. You got to go back up.
What happened?
To Mr. Kite. You didn't get you talked about the kite, but not his question.
How did I skip that? I do it all the time. Let's see. I got about 950K saved in stocks. You think I can retire? I don't know how old you are.
He is 48.
48. Okay. Is that all taxable? Or is that tax deferred, or is it a mix?
That's a big issue.
Yeah, I act like I know what I'm talking about here. Look, if it's a lot of it's on the tax deferred side, it's going to be tough, right? And that's the key. If you're going to fire anybody that's in here, I talk about it all the time. I talk about it in the videos. If you're going to fire, you need to think about how much money is on the taxable side versus the tax deferred side, right? If you can still max out your tax deferred side plus save a boatload, like 50% of your take home on the taxable side, that's the best way to do it. But if you're putting all your money on that tax deferred side, you're not going to be able to really retire until you're 59 and a half. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer those questions, Mr. Kite, then maybe I could better answer. 48, I mean, depends too on how much you live off of, Gerry would say, yeah.
I'd say
So
absolutely, but
put it all in QLD. We have Maverick in the house, right? He's telling me like, drop it all in QLD and go hike the AT. I'm like, that's a boatload of money.
it is.
That's more money than I make now, Jeez. Yeah, answer those questions, Mr. Kite. Let's see here. We got Jamie Lopez. Hi, guys. Just passing by. Well, we're always welcome to have you. He's Mr. Funny Guy, too. So I think I'm funny, but probably funny looking. But let's see. Well said, Gerry. So true. Consistency pays off. Got to put in the work. There is no shortcuts.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely. What'd you say, Gerry? Did you say uh-oh?
No, you dropped off on my screen.
I did?
Yeah, you dropped off on my screen.
Can you see me still?
Maybe it's my
Anybody else see me?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Let's see. A grateful man. Yes, Mr. Kite, I think you can. It just depends. If it's all on the tax deferred side, I don't know if you can. You could Roth ladder it out. Maybe you've already been Roth ladder now, but you're going to convert. You can jeez. You're going to convert $50,000-$60,000 every year, and then wait 5 years. It could be a way to go, but unless you'd already done it. So he's 48. Let's see here. That's real talk, GW. Yeah, GW's got the real talk for sure. Love that passion. Yeah, close to that 900K there, Mark, Matt.
I think he's over it.
I'm getting, yeah, really. The last on the stream, it was like 995 or something like that. So maybe the Friday got him over. No, because the crypto was down on Friday. I looked at him like, yeah, it's hurting, Matt. I'm still rooting for you, Matt, but I'm mostly rooting for you just because I want to put molasses and stuff in there, jar, and send it to you. That way you can't use any of the money. Yeah, there you go, Mummy Trader. I don't know what you agree with, but something I said, I feel good. Math is math. Yeah. There's no shortcuts. Got to
math is the most important thing you can learn, even basic.
Simple addition and subtraction, multiplication. That you don't need to learn all this advanced crap. When's the last time you used algebra? Geometry. And
I never learned it, actually.
Yeah, me neither. I learned algebra. It's like, what the hell? Like, I know like electronics math, Ohm's law, Watt's law. I know all that. That's useful, right? Especially if you're trying to hook up your 15 amp, Let's see here. Slow and steady wins the race. Absolutely. And GW, no excuses. We learned and taught ourselves and still learning. Yeah, she's got it going on. She knows what she's doing. And I'm, curious where she learned a lot of her, path, Go check out her channel. She works hard, too. She puts out a lot of videos. Serious, like literally every day, like every other day or every day she puts a video out. Like that's dedication. I wish I had that amount of, I don't want to say stamina. That sounds kind of bad. I am single, by the way. So it just, it's just, I have a full-time job. Plus I'm trying to do 2 channels. You know, and she's probably going to say the same thing, but it's just me, So, yeah, it's tough. YouTube's a grind. It's not easy. Alternative investments, well said. Always keep learning and have an open mind to use new strategies when needed. Yeah. Honestly, folks, look, if you want to, like, if you have a small account, you're trying to reach fire, look, go back and watch all the live streams that we've done, right? There's so much information there. Go watch Gerry's, if you're not interested in the retire less, I'd suggest you watch those, but also watch Gerry's update videos on his options. Go watch Thumper's videos on his options, right? Go watch Tasty Trades. Somebody did ask me recently, what's the best way to learn options? I'm like, dude, go watch the live streams. Go join the Discord, watch Thumper's videos, go watch the Tasty Trades videos, do searches. Go search on YouTube for options, right? And I basically said, don't look at buying premium, look at selling premium, right? That's the key. You got to sell premium. And then this is the key. You want to retire early? This is, I would say, a shortcut. And I just say there is no shortcuts. Well, this is about the best you can get to a shortcut.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Gerry?
I'd absolutely agree. I mean, I have a small sample size, of course, because I only started back October. I mean, I've been at it for about a year but I haven't been serious about it until probably this year. And so it's a small sample size, but it blows my mind. I mean, because I'm using 25% buying power, clearing about $800 a week. And I'm sitting in front of my computer.
I need to figure out what. Yeah, I don't know. You're just doing stuff that I just probably wouldn't do.
I don't think I'm that on the riskier side than you are. I don't think I am. I mean, there might be some things that I am. I'll give you that. But
you might not be at the riskier side, but you're doing riskier tickers.
Probably. But not extremely, not meme stock type stuff normally. But you're talking $800 a week, and I'm sitting in front of my computer clicking some buttons. I mean, that's like it's unreal, right? Because but it's something that you need to learn and you need to dedicate yourself to a little bit. I mean, just like anything, if it's worth learning, you have to dig in, and if you don't dig in, far enough, you're not gonna realize it.
You're gonna have to want to, right? Like if you're just one of those people that just doesn't want to make money and kind of be in control of it, then maybe this is not the best thing for you to do. Go throw your money into a VTI or a VOO, right?
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I started with dividend investing, and it was like, wait a second, how's this going to work, right? Because if I have $100,000 in whatever, right? Just say the biggest income fund right now, QYLD, $100,000 going to get you what? Maybe $1,000 a month, right? Is that about right? It's about there.
Yeah. Right.
So, instead I'm doing $800 a week. So
yeah, I tried that strategy. I got rid of my QLD last week, by the way. I had 1,250 shares, so I got at least $240 out of it. But it does take buying power. I was hoping it wouldn't, but it does. So
that's what I was talking about with you on the comments for the margin loan. Would that take buying that would affect your margin?
No, I mean, but that guy was just saying, just taking a loan out and buying it, right? It'd be the same thing and just, going a margin with $100,000 with it, right? I'm not talking about doing options plus have that in there. Just straight have an account with $300,000 in it, and he's using, $100,000 in margin or something like that, right?
Gotcha.
That's what he's talking. Instead of going to get a loan from the bank, where he said he was paying 3%, which I would kind of God dang, I would find highly unlikely to get a rate at 3% on a loan. With IB, it's less than 2% though,
Yeah.
right? I just don't know if a bank you can get a loan for that. You can get a mortgage.
Probably. Yeah, you could probably do something like that. But point is, just learn, man. It's worth it. I mean, if you there's so much information available at your fingertips, right on your computer screen, right on your phone. Tons of free information that can absolutely change your freaking trajectory of your life and your retirement. And it's right there on your phone. All you have to do is open it up, read it, learn it, and you can even practice it because you can have paper accounts and you can practice it and find out what works for you, what you like. So that's my spiel.
Thumper's a good example. He's 34 months away from becoming a millionaire. 34 years old? Something like that. I mean, according to his plan, you know. So, yeah, 34 months away. You know, that's all options. He kills it. He's way more aggressive than Gerry and I, but he probably will disagree with that.
Probably.
You know, he's got like $11,000 in premium bacon right now. So, let's see here. Even if you won't reach your goal 100%, yeah, well, that's what I always say. Look, set up a plan for fire, right? Try to meet those goals. Like I said, most likely you're probably going to you're going to do way better than you thought to begin with. You're going to meet your numbers way quicker. But if you fail for some reason, you're going to be better off if you had never started, right? There is pixie dust on the nearest corner. I need to find that corner.
No, you don't want to find that corner.
I got to go to 5 points. Let's see. You guys kick butt, keep it rolling. Hot Dave on fire. GW chill as ice. Good. What's that, Gerry?
Dichotomy, but I'd have to look up the definition.
Don't let me say, because I don't know what I would have said.
It's dichotomy.
Dichotomy. Wow. Gerry is chill. I agree. But he gets to be in the chill position, though. You know, I got to run all this crap over here and stuff. He always gets to look as the chill person. Let's see here. 100 agree with Gerry, too. 1,000% agree. Yeah. Let's see here. Got Rebecca. Yeah, I'm going to do it earning less than 100K a year. I'm using my low cost of living. Yeah, I agree. Literally, her mortgage payment is a car payment for most people.
Yeah, it's like $500-600, right?
You know,
something like that.
These people that want to keep up with the Joneses got a latest Tesla, you know, Model Z or something like that. And their payment's probably what her mortgage payment is, you know? So, look, I got a 16-year-old car, folks, okay? You know, I mean, now I do my own, you know, car work, so I can pretty much do whatever I need to do, except probably rebuild an automatic transmission. But so I've always said when I was in school, you know, when I took auto shop, my teacher always said, look, learn how to do your own work on the car. If you have to go buy the tools, guess what? At least that pays, like, that's what you would have paid to have the labor done, but then you have the tools left over when you're done, right? So the next time you need to do something, you have the tools, right? So it's just kind of, it resonates with me, but some people can't even change the oil, I suppose. Yeah, I think Rebecca, 100K, less than 100K, you're still making pretty good as what you do, though. So, and you found fire earlier than I did. So just keep working at it.
She'll get there as long as she doesn't buy the Tesla.
Yeah, don't buy the Tesla. Don't buy another $10,000 bed. Don't buy Dunkin' Donuts and stuff like that. Still, we were on the stream on Thursday night. She's eating her celery and stuff, and we're all eating all of our like advanced food that we. Because she brought her food. I mean, she preps, which is smart because it saves a lot of money. But you know, we're all like eating, you know, ice cream and shit in front of her. It was keto ice cream though. So Gerry still sleeps in his chair in the morning. I don't know if he does. Does he? Do you do that?
Sometimes I'll have a little bit of 5-minute snooze or something.
Yeah, I can't really argue. I work from my bed too, so so I do fall asleep sometimes. Make sure he's not accidentally selling naked calls. Yeah, I screwed up this week doing the strategy builder. I think you gotta make sure you get the shit right with that damn thing. Um, make sure you're selling the right one, buying the right one, and submitting it, and you know because when you put it on, it's just a submit, and when you go to sell them, it's the opposite. But anyways,
Yeah, if
it's
you're
an
doing a
idea.
spread, on in interactive brokers, you submit the order, but if you need to buy it back, you're selling it.
Yeah, well, if you're using the real strategy builder, right? Because you can put the
Right.
legs on separately and it doesn't matter. But
Right.
I've been not doing that. I learned that it's better, even though we've talked about it, it's better to actually use the strategy builder to do it. And the reason why is because I found in some cases that I could not get a fill on the lower strike, right? I did on a Google's a good example. I tried to go too wide on it apparently. Well, it filled the upper one, but it wouldn't fill the lower one. With the strategy builder and you submit it as a bag order, it won't fill one. It'll fill both.
Yeah.
If it's going to fill, it'll fill both. If it doesn't fill, it's not going to fill, right? It's not going to just fill one on you though. So that's the reason why I've been starting to use the strategy builder now, which is the reason why I had to work hard last week adding the code to my script. So anyways, there's still some flaws in it, but so we see here. People who say an arbitrary number haven't done and never will do the numbers. It's probably this
You're
is a
talking
wise man
about
here, folks.
if you're talking
What's that?
about if you're talking about retirement, that's probably true. Because if you're listening to the people that are saying, "Oh, you need $3 million to retire," and you don't know what your expenses are, then you're kind of SOL.
I see it every single time I put a new video out. Somebody will talk about inflation. Somebody will talk about that's not enough. Somebody will talk. It's like, maybe for you, you know what I mean? Like in my opinion, I've over engineered my retirement. Right? I've engineered a lot of contingencies in there. For a 3.5% withdrawal rate. Like I'm fine. And it was just why not? These are my peak years now. Like I'm starting to lose my hair like Gerry. Not really, but it's just inflation. I did a video on my other channel, Hidden Off Grid, talking about inflation, why it doesn't bother me. I even talked about it on a stream one time, I think. Least of my worries, inflation. My biggest worry is just too much change all at once, I think is my biggest worry. Obviously unknown, but let's see here. Yeah, everybody finds someone with whom yeah, exactly. We all have our individual stories. Subscribers will come and go. It's all good. It's all good. Where is all good?
Well, I was about to say that. Oh, there she is. She's down below.
I gotta get to all good. Let's see. With your 10% probably in the money, how do you figure the percentage of out of the money with IBKR? What tool to use? So I have a tool that actually generates that for me. It's a script. It's a Python script, so it generates it for me. But in all honesty, I've just been using the delta lately. It gets me close, right? They're not the same thing. So the probably the money comes from the delta, and I think it comes from something else too, IV, if I'm not mistaken. But so yeah, point 10 delta. There you go.
Also, there's also in IB, if you want to take the extra step with the strategy builder, you click on the profile after you're in the strategy builder, and it'll show you probability of profit or something of that nature.
Yeah, they're off by a couple percent sometimes. They're not always exactly the same. So Yeah, I've been going about point 10 delta, minus point 10 delta, or whatever the hell it is. Do you just trust delta even though it doesn't always? Yeah, exactly. I just been using that lately because the scanner that I built is looking for delta. I could actually put the probability in there. Yeah, I probably could do that. Maybe I'll put that in there. I probably do have it in there. Um, but what I'm trying to do is come up with a system. You know me, Jerry. I just want to have a system where I can just automate everything. This it finds this for me. Okay, I don't have this on. Okay, I'm gonna put that on. I'm really trying to take the emotion out of it. Really, just trying to make it a systematic, rules based almost. Right. That's what I've been trying to do. Now, maybe people will disagree with that, but I don't know. Let's see. We got all good. All good's in the house. Good evening. All good. Let's see here. We got Matt Money. You can see it. All good. Prince. Yeah. What did she get into last week? Did she get anything crazy?
I have no idea, honestly. I'm not positive. She's kind of secretive about her stuff.
Secretive.
I know she's like in like
doing
Bitcoin and
AMC and
stuff.
she's doing GameStop and stuff.
I think she's a big Bitcoin trader now, or
Oh
Forex or
wow.
something.
Bitcoin. Thigh stop. Thigh stop. Who was
Wingstop. That's
who
what we
was
need.
talking about thigh stop? It was on somebody's thumbnail, I think, or something. I saw it somewhere. Let's see here. Just got back from my walk. Wow. 9 o'clock. Oh, yeah, it's still light there, huh? Let's see here. Yeah, printing bit. So she is in Bitcoin. I think Interactive Brokers is actually going to get Bitcoin. That should be interesting. I was using just like the grayscales, but you're going to pay a lot more doing it that way, and commissions too. Matthew H. GW, what's your Amazon play?
I think it's a 3260, 3250.
I do have an Amazon Strangle on.
And that's pretty aggressive, I think.
Let's see here. What's your so I got a 4,050 on. Percent probably in the money. Okay, yeah, it was a 1% probably in the money, by the way. So I did buy Soul. Yeah, I got a 2,700 on. What's yours? You have a spread on, right?
I have a spread 3265, 3255.
That is pretty aggressive.
That's pretty aggressive. I can lose $1,000 minus my premium.
What was the probability on that?
Like 87, I think.
Okay, so it's most likely not gonna. Does it go through earnings?
I don't think so. Oh,
No.
crap.
I think
Hope not.
earnings.
I
Yeah.
thought it was in August.
Okay. Yeah, because earnings. Let's see. Amazon's been trading sideways, kind of too. Earnings should be late July, maybe early August. You had a 3250, you said?
Yeah, 3265.
Yeah, you should be okay. When does it expire?
July 30th. No. Sorry, not July 30th. July 9th.
Oh, yeah, you should be okay. Yeah, you should be fine. If not, just take ownership. You're good.
No, not gonna happen. It's a spread. I think I got $1.25 for it.
So why'd you do that? I was curious.
To test out spreads. It just makes.
Could you get down to the 3,200 at all?
And not. I wanted to make $1.
Yeah, you're right. So you're making $100, but risking 1,000.
Yeah,
That's not.
it's 125.
That's not normally good.
Yeah,
Now I'm not a
usually,
spread person, but I always try to find a 1 to 3, but that was years ago. I don't even know if that's possible anymore. Who in here does spreads? Invest to Retire. I don't know if he's in here, but maybe James does.
I was finding some that was like that, but they just wouldn't fill. They weren't high volume stocks, so.
Yeah. Thumper. Is that a good, a 1 to 10 ratio is not very good, I don't think, usually.
12.5%, right? So
Eh, I mean, you're probably fine, honestly. You're probably fine. And it even goes it's basically 2 weeks, right? And
yeah.
there's even a holiday in there, so um, yeah, I think you're fine. Oh, there's that 3,200's got that 200 period moving average there, though. Let's see here. We got all good. Let's see here. This is the Discord that Thumper threw in there. Let's see. Trying to think something to dictate, drawing a blank. Trying to think something to dictate. Dictate what? Pungent. Dictate what? Help you. Help you do what? Let's see here. Kites are too low tech for kids these days. I don't know. They were fun. They were fun. Yeah, I mean, geez. Kids are like, they're just poor kids these days. That's true.
Slinky. Dude, we used to make, nobody knows what I'm talking about every time I talk about this, but Coke bottles used to come in little fat little glass bottles, and they had a styrofoam wrapper on it. And you would be able to peel that styrofoam wrapper all the way around till you got to the bottom. And there was a hole in the middle on the bottom. So the wrapper just kind of wrapped around and stopped. So you were able to pull that off, and then you were able to fold it over and tape the bottom, and that hole that was on the bottom would still be on top. So you'd have like a little canoe. You'd have a little styrofoam canoe, and we used to put the canoes into the freaking gutter and race them.
Well, that's better than what I did in gutters. I used to wash them off my cuts in gutters.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows what I'm talking about. But that's just, I wish I could find a bottle from there and
I wish you could too, because we never did that. Slinky, man, that's some old school shit right there. Slime, Slinky, dominoes, pop rocks, or well, they were pop. Or there's snap thing.
pops,
Mexican jumping beans,
candy cigarettes.
candy cigarettes. Yeah, we thought we were so cool with those things. Let's see, pickup sticks. Oh man, Slinkies. You're not old enough, Rebecca. Just
marbles.
Kidding. Marbles. Yeah. My favorite candy. Yeah, there she goes. Fake sugar candies. Yeah. They used to be gum, right?
Yeah.
When you were done with them. Candy cigarettes. Skipping Mr. Kite. Yeah, I did by mistake. Way to keep Dave focused, Gerry. Yeah, Jerry's my better half. Let's see here. About 500K differ. Okay, so he's got about 450 on the other side. Well, 400 on the other side.
What I would do? About 400 on the other side. I'd probably put 200 in cash and go learn options.
I mean, 200 in an options account.
In an options account. Essentially cash.
IB.
Yeah.
IB account. Here's the thing. I don't know. What would I do? Number one, I don't know how he lives. I don't even know if it's a he.
True. Well, it's a mystery.
Oh, it says Mr. I saw an S there. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, Mr. I don't even know if it's a he. Geez. I don't know. So to me, I love to have the coma money. You know what I mean? I love the coma money taking care of my basic freaking, my shit tickets and my food and all that stuff, right? My basic needs, my roof over the house. Because options are going to take, they don't have to take work though. You can make it more hands off. I still think it's something I'm probably always going to do though. Is if I'm not doing it, I just feel like, oh, there's a waste of $1,000 that week. Right? That's how I'm going to feel. That's just the way my brain thinks. You know what I mean? So if I'm not doing options for a month, oh, that's $4,000 that was just down the drain. That's how my brain thinks.
I felt bad taking a day off last week.
Were you looking at your phone? Were you looking at your
Yeah,
phone?
I was looking at my phone, but I was like, damn it, do I want to put something on the mobile app? I don't play with the mobile app, so
I think it's smart to learn how to do it just in case, though.
I do need to.
So getting back to Mr. Kite here, invest on your tax deferred side, income ETS or whatever, generate, with 500 and something $1,000 on that side, generate a pretty substantial amount of money over there. 6% per $100,000. So 6 times 5, $30,000, $40,000 at minimum, maybe even higher than that. And then on the other side, so he could, I just don't know what he lives on. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
expenses are gonna a big factor here.
Because if he has a house that's paid off, you only need $20,000, $25,000 a year. I live on 30, and that's paying a freaking $1,600 freaking apartment payment. Imagine if I didn't have that though. Then I don't need nothing to live on. You know what I mean? So right now I'm living on 30. If your expenses are super low, then you can take the 200 like Gerry said, take the other 200 and put it in, you know, XYLD, QLD, or something like that. Have some basics, $24,000 paid for, and then learn options on the side. I don't know. Let us know what you think about that. GW with the whip, making sure Davey stops slacking. I'm not a slacker. I'm not a slacker. Come on.
I am the slacker.
All right, I gotta get some house cleaning done. I'm gonna see you, Rebecca. She probably said that like 30 minutes ago. Rebecca, when's our wedding? Yeah, jeez. Make sure you get a prenup, Rebecca. Let's see here. Haha, I love the fake sig gum. Big League Chew. Yeah, Big League Chew.
Big
What
League
about
Chew was
the
the best.
what about the gum that came in the skull like containers? You you remember those? Or the beef jerky that came in those?
What about
You don't remember the beef jerky that came in those like
what
skull
about
containers?
bazooka gum?
Um, I used to buy
Yeah, I do remember that.
I used to buy basketball cards that were like, I don't know, 10 years old or something like that, but it came with gum. 10-year-old gum.
Yeah,
Oh man.
hard
Rebecca.
ass.
Yeah, it was, well, no, it's just breaking a billion pieces. Oh, I guess that's what you meant. Yeah, if you drop it on the ground and break it into 1,000 pieces. Leaves when tough questions come. Yeah. Gotta wait for my divorce to be final first, right? Nah, you don't need to. Um, let's see here. Just waiting for all the boys to line up at my door afterwards. We don't know where you live. Tell us where you live. We'll hook you up. Let's see here. 100% right, Dave. You and I have very similar net worth, but yeah, completely different way of getting there. I'm close. I'm close to having. I'm probably right there too. Maybe 60 to 70% being tax free. Oh, he's tax free. Never mind. Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty close to that. Like it's like if you split my money up into thirds, 2/3 of it is in the taxable account, and a third of it's in the tax deferred account. Maybe even more. I don't know. Who knows? Something like that. I have to wait until 15. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody that's gonna fire has to think about that. Let's see. Good night. Later. Good night. Get your beauty rest. Let's see here. What about the 55 rule? Ever heard of that? The 55 rule. You heard of that one? Depends on what he means. I've heard of the rule of 72.
Is that no, I better not even say anything because I'm making assumptions, so I'm not positive. Probably has
Yeah,
to do with a Roth IRA.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. The money you put in there, the Roth IRA, like the money that you put in, contribute, you can take out. I
Yeah.
think whether or not it have to be in 5 years, or is it you can take it at any time? The conversions, I think, or you have to wait 5 years. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Roths, unfortunately. Maybe I will learn something eventually when I get a lower tax bracket, I convert money. But
I quit.
yeah, tell us what the 55 rule is.
I quit contributing to the Roth last. I quit contributing to the Roth altogether. And last year, when they put in that you can withdraw money penalty free from your Roth because of COVID, I pretty much almost drained them all completely. I kind of wish I did drain them all completely, but now, so I'm not contributing to those anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to either, but I did see something pretty interesting on CNBC last week. I think it was. It was like, so I think it was like a $5 billion Roth. The guy like he like invested in like PayPal or something like that back in like 1998 or 99 or something like that, and then invested in some other major company like that that just blew up. $5 billion Roth. You believe that crap?
That's crazy.
All
I didn't think
tax
Roth.
free.
I didn't think Roths were around that long though.
They started in the 90s. I didn't think they were around that long either. Anybody remembers or know or heard that news story? Let me know. I think it was like $5 billion Roth. It's crazy. 9/11. Wow. Dang. How'd you jump up so fast? Let's go. What are you doing over there? Specimen fine. What do you think about early withdrawal and paying penalty? There was a point in my life where I was going to do that. If you are going to do that, what I would do if I was going to do that is I would do a little bit per year. And I would not have a 9 to 5 job if I was doing it. That's what I would do. So I'm talking about like you retire, right? And then you just take out, obviously it's got to be a year later because you're going to have income that year. So a year later, take out 50 grand or something like that. And then you'll have to pay the penalty on it, which the penalty is 10%. And then you'll have to pay taxes on it, but the taxes will be super low. So 25% maybe. Just if you're married. If you're married, it's even better. Deduct that 24K. I'm not against it. For me, I don't have to do it. Why would I want to pay the extra money? I paid so much money to the government, and they don't pay me anything. They don't give me any money. They don't give me a stimulus check. So I'm not going to pay them an extra 10%. Heck no, I don't need to. But some people, I'm not against it. It's just I don't need to do it. If I was going to do it, I'd wait till I quit. I'd wait a year later, be married hopefully, and then convert it. That way you're in a lower tax bracket. Obviously you're going to eat the 10% though. If it makes Dave feel better, I can remove my CAD loan.
It's a car loan.
Car loan? What do you mean there, Gerry? What do you mean? Your car ain't worth crap if you owe on it.
I'm not sure. Maybe he's.
What are you talking about, Matt?
Maybe
Come
he's
on,
adding the value of the car. I don't know.
I don't know what he's talking about either. I don't throw my cars in my net worth. Not to mention my car's only worth like $3,000. So yeah, I got stuff that's worth a lot more than $3,000, and it just ain't my car. Oh man, but it's none of it's in my. I don't know. I understand why people do put their car in their net worth, but yeah, I just don't have a car that's worth anything. Geometry, physics at the pool table. That's true. That's true. I like to like, yeah, try to act like I know what the hell I'm doing when I play pool. I'm actually not a bad pool player, but
yeah, I used to be good after a couple of shots. At least I thought so.
Yeah. 151. Let's see, Richard. Yes. Okay. So yes, rule of 55, you have to leave your 401k money in your employer plan, but can avoid 10% penalty. What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? My plan is literally that as soon as my freaking 401k will release those funds when I quit work, that money is coming out of the employer 401k and going into a different retirement account where I have full control over it. I cannot wait to get it out of Fidelity. There's like limited options in there. I have no full control to do what I want in there with it. That money's going to come out and go into my 401k trust. That's where the money's going. But so I don't know exactly what you're talking about here. Can you elaborate, Richard? And Mr. Kite? Let's see here. It was Mr. Kite, right? Was it Mr. Kite or Specimen?
Specimen.
Specimen. Specimen and Richard. Elaborate, please. Petey, what's up, Petey?
Pete.
You plan to keep trading options when you get on the road in the RV? I don't know who he's talking to, but I think the answer for both of us is yes.
Absolutely. Now, how I'm going to do it, I'm not sure. Because if you follow my Retire with Less series, that QQQ side is very attractive. I mean, you spend 10 minutes on it a month. So
you're talking about trading just like the SPY, the QQQ?
The SPY and the QQQ. I mean, I
agree.
You spend 10 minutes a month. And you get to enjoy the rest of the month, right? I don't even look at it. You don't even have to look at it if you don't want to.
It's something I'm transitioning to, especially now that I'm still going to meet the 24% this year, but maybe next year I'll be okay with 18. You know what I mean? And I can get to the 18% with the SPY and the QQQ, 3 Qs. I can get there with that. So. And that was the issue I had with it to begin with. Like, you can't get the 2%, you can get there, but not with a 5% probably the money. But now that I moved it up to the 10, and maybe, who knows, might go to the 15%, right? You can get there. Yeah. And that's just, you're talking about like so easy. Like, you might even get bored, Gerry.
Exactly. I mean,
that might be a problem. You might actually have to talk to your wife.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm on the East Coast, it'll probably be better because I can sleep in, have breakfast, go for a walk, whatever. And but on the West Coast, it kind of sucks, to be honest.
Look here, folks. I'm just gonna run the Theta Gang bot. It does exactly what you want to do. Literally, it'll forever roll. If you want to forever roll, right? It was just extract premium. If it's in the money, it's gonna roll. If it's going to roll if it's 90% profit. It's going to roll if it's got less than 15 days on it, and it does a 45 DTE. There you go. You run a script every day. You don't even got to do anything, Gerry.
I got to learn about that one.
I've been testing it out. I have yet to see it be in the money. That's part of the issue. It's never been in the money yet. It's always been in profit every time. So yeah. You want, like, Gerry, there you go. Just run a script every day. One day. It'll do automated for you, too, if you want. I'll even set up on your Windows computer.
Nice.
If you're one of those types of people. I gave up Facebook and traded that time in the learning options on YouTube.
There you go. Biggest time suck ever is social media.
Oh, is that what he meant?
Yeah, that's what he's meaning.
I gave up Facebook in 2013, and I opened up Facebook just to do a YouTube freaking business page. So I haven't been on Facebook. I don't even know how to use Facebook anymore. Never really. Yeah. Let's see. Elvis, see, what's up, guys? Keep up the great content. What's your opinion on doing a CSP on ET? Strikes $10 at 30 DT. You know ET?
Energy transfer. It's energy transfer. There's not a lot of premium in there. If you want to own it, I think that's okay because it's a big dividend stock. I don't know. I think they cut their dividend, not positive, back in the COVID thing, but it's a big. I mean, energy. So it's there's not a lot of premium there. So if you want to own it, that might be the way to go.
When it comes to that one, I don't know what the premium is on it, but why wouldn't you just do XOP or EOG or
Yeah, I mean, if you're look, that's what I'm saying. If you're looking to own it, that's probably. I think Patrick has a huge position in ET, but it's not one that I would do just to collect premium and profit from options. It's not one that I would do. If you wanted to own, that's one way to get into it.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're trying, I mean, you're just using CSPs to get into it. I mean, we've been doing XOP, been doing a little bit of EOGs, but that's my oil play. Basically what Gerry said. Let's see here. Mitigate tax penalty, though. Thoughts. Open IRA with HELOC safety have for bills. Yeah, I don't know. This is advanced shit here, Gerry. I know what a HELOC is. I thought that can you even get a HELOC anymore, right? Like it used to be like everybody was doing them, but now they're become, I don't even know if they're allowing them right now. Somebody talked about a SEP recently in one of the streams. I wrote it down. I just never really had a chance to look at it. Mitigate tax.
It's the SEP is kind of like turning your IRA into an annuity in a sense. So you get equal amount of payments over a certain period of time.
So I just don't know what he's trying to do here. That's the problem. Open IRA with 22 or 72T SEP, second IRA. But so what do you need a second one for? And then what do you need a HELOC for? So what the HELOC assuming is, it sounds like to me, is an emergency fund. That's what it kind of is. The HELOC, I think you're paying interest back to yourself. I think it's very similar to paying interest, I think, on like a 401k loan. I think you're just paying interest back to yourself. But I don't even know if you can get a HELOC, like I said right now. But why not just have the money on the side? Doing options with it. There's your safety valve. That's just me. Like, I think differently though. Like, I've never had an emergency fund. I wouldn't use a HELOC personally for myself. I don't need to. I would never do it. I'm not saying it's wrong or it's not the right thing to do. It's just I would have enough cash anyway, to do whatever I need to do. I have at least probably a year's expenses. Just it's very hard for me to just have a year's expenses in a high yield savings account, honestly. But because I could just take the money out of the brokerage account, so I'll probably have some cash in a high yield savings account, but it's not going to be very much. And that's mostly just in case transfers are slow or something like that, right? I have something I can go tap, but the brokerage account's always going to be probably, I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know. You've seen me change a lot of directions over the last 2 years because I learned things and I change and it didn't work out. So I'm sure once I fire and retire, there'll be some new things I'm going to learn, and then I'm going to share them because I don't know everything. So I'm just curious to know about a little bit more about this here. We got, sir, put your funds into M1 Finance, and they allow you to get a loan against your holdings at 75%. Yeah, so 2%. The problem with M1 Finance, though, you can't do options in it. That's a great platform if you always want to, especially for newer investors, because it checks all the boxes for newer investors, right? It automatically invests, automatically take out of your account and put in and spread it out and diversify and automatically auto balance, blah, 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 cock-a-doodle-doo. Auto invest your dividends, even though it does it in a different way. It's really a great platform, newer investors, but no options.
It is a great platform. You have to be disciplined though, because that is one platform that you can freaking mess around, tinker, and hit rebalance and add freaking 250 stocks to it. Well, I think they have a limit of 100, but I
It's
mean, you
100,
can
yeah.
just go hog wild, and that can really kind of jack you up. I think everybody starts out that way in M1 Finance. Now, I throw a couple ETFs in there, I fund it, I don't even look at it anymore.
It takes a little getting used to. And I remember doing a deposit and then it like, I don't know, I forgot that I made the deposit or something like that. So I put another deposit in. It's like, and then come to find out, it took the double amount out of my account. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. Because it didn't even tell me I had a freaking deposit pending, It's like, darn. So it's getting used to it, but it is a great platform. I'm not against the platform. 2% loan's not bad actually. IB's still lower than that, but
But you
we
have to
can't do
pay for
options.
the
So,
privilege of that loan. You have to pay for the pro.
yeah, you got to pay for the pro too, or maybe you can get a free year or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think that somebody should be doing options account too, and you can't do it in there. That assumes 5% a month. Think I'll be falling behind that metric soon. Oh, that's he's talking about his 34 months to millionaire.
Yeah.
But isn't he like 10% this month or something?
Something like that. Yeah. It's a crazy
Yeah,
number.
that's assuming I can't get to 5%. Jesus, Thumper. He had like 10% return this month. Oh man, he's funny. Gotta go. 5 a.m. We'll be here soon. That was super awesome, guys. Looking forward to the next one. Hey, thanks a lot for joining. Go check out her channel, folks. Let's see here. Yeah, it skipped on me, Gerry. Holy cow, I'm way off too. I'm slow.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
We're
Where
way
is
out.
it?
We're like 40 minutes behind.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, folks. Plug the ET in the colony spreadsheet and see if it's a good candidate. Um, that's a good point. I don't know if it is. How does the spreadsheet tell you if it's a good candidate or not though?
Mhm.
I only do colonies. Hey man, investing sensei. What's up, buddy? We got, let's see, Sky Investor here. Ask us a stock question, Sky. Let's see here. Let's see, I'm like, no, you're just in time. I'm trying to get through them a little bit a little bit quicker, folks. Wax on, wax off. See what's up, Sky Investor and Matt. So we got see Investing Sensei, or we got Cody. How about that Nvidia? Man, he is. I mean, he's like up like 10,000% in that thing. You gonna sell it? It's gonna sell off after the split, right? Let's see here. I wish I had 100 shares of Nvidia. Yeah, cover calls, man. Cover calls. You kill it. Realize capital gains, which you'd have. I've been trying to book. We booked tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I have the feeling that if I figure out the bracket order and conditional order system of the Schwab platform, I could automate it. Maybe similar to M1. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like Schwab's system. I can't wait till they suck in toss because their system is it's painful. So you should do third the width of the strikes on spreads.
What does that even mean? You should collect a third? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, 33% is what I've always learned. But I don't know how realistic that is. You'd have made 33, like making $33 on a $100 spread or something like that. I think that's what he's talking about. Is that what you're talking about, James? Let's see. I think Tasty Trades or Tracy said you should find spreads where the premium is. Yeah, exactly. What does that mean, though? It's a
I
1
think
to
that's
10.
what they're talking about. Yeah.
Let's see here. 1 to 10 is not good. Yeah, I agree. I've always learned it to be 33 and 66. Let's see here. Well, the next month when NVIDIA does its stock split, yeah. James, let's see. Joining you guys late. What ETF besides NUSI would you use for downside protection to stock market? Oh man. Well, you could technically use QLD and just buy the put to protection.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, I mean,
But if you want to actually have it built in, then what would you say, Gerry?
I don't think there's any, I mean, there are some out there, I think, but they're freaking tiny and not liquid, no volume in them, not a lot of assets in them. So you really, that's why I haven't even talked about them. There's a lot of ETFs out there that run very interesting strategies, but they have $50 million in assets under management. It's like, yeah, you don't want to be in one of those.
So this NUSI is probably the best one, but that is also just crash protection, not downside protection.
Yeah, don't call
The
it
best,
downside.
the best, honestly, the best way to do it is to do it yourself,
Yeah,
right? To buy puts on the SPY or the QQQQ and then kind of hedge if you want to do it that way. But if you want to have it built in, NUSI is really it. But it's not really downside protection, it's crash protection. So there's not a lot of options. If you want to have more options, you're going to have to do it yourself with options, I think. What do you think, Gerry?
yeah, I agree. You can do QILD, and buy a put, 5-6 months out, a couple strike prices down, and that'll give you your downside protection for 5 or 6 months, and then just repeat as needed. But that way
So
you
that's
get your
essentially,
12% yield or whatever it's going to be, minus whatever the cost of the put is.
but the thing with that is almost exactly the same as NUSI.
Almost, yes.
I mean, granted, you can mess around with how low the strike is and all that, but the percentage is going to come out very close to what NUSI's doing, right? Like it's in there. It's so similar. You might as well just do NUSI, right? I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one. Let's see here. Gerry talking about the movie IT. It.
ET.
E.T. E.T.
ET phone home.
Yeah, God, that's an old movie. I was so young when that came out. GW, I know what you're talking about on the styrofoam. Wow.
Finally, somebody knows.
Why didn't I ever learn that? I'm from California.
I don't
Jeez.
know. That was a real ghetto thing, I guess.
We used to make paper airplanes and stuff. Fords. For an old guy like me. Yeah. Hopefully we answered the question. Let's see, collecting beer cans. Collecting beer cans. What are you gonna do with them? Let's see, always the party. Did you just assume their gender? I don't assume. I mean, I do assume, but when they say Mr. actually inside their screen name, then it's pretty easy. Um, let's see. Let me use the binary name. Let's see here. My wife loves candies. We buy them for the case. We buy them by the case. Yeah, where do you even get them?
No, there's some vintage candy places still open. He gets them by the beach. Usually, you'll get them in touristy areas like that.
You mean like where the saltwater taffy is?
Yeah, yeah. There's one in I think Monterey. I
The
think there's one
boardwalk.
there that has all kinds of strange old school taffy and then old school candies by the bulk and stuff like that.
Retire 2022.
Nice.
Me too. Me too. I am looking forward to it. I'm terrified but excited. I'm excited but terrified. It's coming fast. It is coming fast. My spreadsheet says it's 291 days away. 291 days away. Man. Let's see here. How do you confidently know when you can retire? It's so much more nuanced than the 4% rule. That's a tough question to answer because how can people retire when they're 65? Right? Because that's the age that everybody retires at. Like that's society says that's when you retire. Like, okay, well, whatever I've accumulated by then, I'm going to retire, right? It's so much different now. The people that had the pensions are different. Like that's
Yeah.
just they were literally taken care of. My dad, for example, like $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month or something like that pension for the rest of his life, right? Like that stuff doesn't exist. It's very rare unless you work for the state or work for the government, right? Like the Fed government or something like that, or some other unique company. You know, it's pretty rare. And even then, they're doing things differently for their pensions. You got to pay into it. You got to, you still got to wait till you're 55 years old. It's very rare to retire before you're 55 years old with a pension. I think James, I don't know, James can talk about his own, but I was trying to think of somebody else too. There's another example. Military is another good example because they used to be able to retire in 20 years. I still think they can. It's not a TSP anymore. They're doing something else. But I still think that when it comes to the military, you still do 20 years, you can still retire technically. Most people don't, but I think Thumper's another good example because I think he can actually retire earlier than 55. But so to answer this question here, it depends. Like, if you only need $20,000 to live, but you're making $50,000 in dividends, why not retire right now?
Yeah.
Right? You're 35 years old, right?
Got to
I
figure
mean,
out your expenses. That's the big thing. Work. It's almost like you got to work backwards.
I don't like the 4% rule personally for myself, but I'm not saying the 4% rule is not going to work, right? I just over engineered my retirement. I don't want to have to go back to work. I don't want to be wrong. I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life at this time, right? Why, you don't want to run into the just one more year game either, though. That's easy to run into. Oh, let me say, if I worked one more year, I could do this. If I worked one more year, I could do this. You don't want to play that game either, but at least not for a long time. So uh, it really comes down to the expenses. What's your expenses? How do you want to live in retirement? If you're like one of those people that's got to have a new car all the time and you got to have like, $200,000 coming in retirement income, then, if you don't, I mean, I've talked about this, I think last week or whatever. It's very rare for somebody to retire or fire beyond, $3 million. Let's just go with $2 or $3 million. Very rare, unless you have a business. Okay. With W-2 income, there's only so much money you can make in your lifetime, right? Unless you have like a super high income, like $400,000 and above, right? You're not going to, and honestly, those people that have $400,000 and above normally have expensive tastes, big houses, expensive cars, normally, right? They're doctors and lawyers and crap. So if you want to have a higher, like, a $5,000 net worth in a short amount of time, most likely you'd have started a business, right? If you want to have a $2 to $3 million, I think it can be done if you started earlier and with a decent income and you invested for 30 years, you could probably do it. But if in 10 years, a $2 million net worth, it's doable, right? With a W-2 income. The W-2 income is the worst way to do it, but that's how most people are doing it. They pay the most in taxes too. But that's the majority of people in this country are all W-2 income. But if you want to have, there's people I've watched that have like, like I want to have like, I mean, even Matt Money says he wants to be 10 million. He wants to have 10 million, right? Now, could I have $10 million by the time I die? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. I hope. We'll see. But at the same time, it's as I always say, that it's just going to be a bigger U-Haul following that hearse. That's what it's going to be. Because what are you going to do with that $10 million, when you die? Can't take it with you, you know? It's just a bigger U-Haul following your hearse. So to me, it all comes down to balance. You're trading time for money, and it comes a point where, do you need more money? What's it going to do for you? You're literally trading time. Like, I had a really bad week last week when it came to work. I was like, I felt like I was going to retire. It's like I can. I mean, I have that option too. But this is a hard one here because it depends on how much money you want to retire on, like income wise, what your expenses are, how old you are, how's your health, right? 4% rule is probably fine, honestly. And the older you get, the safer it is, right?
Yeah.
For me, because I'm in my 40s, I always say if you're in your 40s, I think 3.5% is better. If you're in your 20s, I'd say 3%. If you're in your 50s and older, I'd say 4%. That's just my way of thinking. The older you get, I think that 4% could even go up higher. That's just the way I look at it. What do you think, Gerry? You want to add anything there?
Not really. It's just controlling your expenses. If you know what you need to live off of, like for me, for instance, I'll never get to a point where the experts will say, "Okay, you're ready to retire." So it's
by far.
it's
They
useless.
can't even say I retire. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's useless for me. So it's gonna be I wouldn't say a leap of faith, but it's my confidence that I can generate income and I can cover my expenses and not have an issue. Will I have to go back to work someday? I doubt it, to be honest with you, because as long as there's an option market, I can make money.
You're already retired now, pretty much. Jeez.
Essentially, yeah. I call it part-time retirement because I mean I don't have a steady job or anything like that, but it's just all about the expenses, man. It really is.
I agree. The 4% rule. The 4% rule is outdated too, in my opinion. When the 4% rule came out, it was back in was it in the 90s it came out?
It was the 80s when you can get a government bond at
study, right?
8-9%, and
I thought the trade study was in the 90s though, but
it might
you're right
been.
though. Bonds were paying a boatload of money back then. So it was kind of outdated, but at the same time, I mean, all that matters is you make the 4% and then you cover inflation. But the 4% technically, because you'd be making more than 4%, honestly. I got mine at 3.5, but I'm going to be making more return than that anyway. I don't know. I think it's just outdated. Outdated in a, I don't know. I want to say in a conservative way, but move the Philippines. Yeah, you could do. So that's always an option right there too. Things got really bad here. You just retired, and the market goes to the shitter, right? You flush a couple times, it's in the shitter. You go freaking geo for a year or two. Go geo in another country. Go experience another country for a year or two. Live on freaking 15, 20 grand like a king. Do that if you need to.
It's not for everybody. You really got to research what you're getting into. The Philippines is a third world freaking country, so
you go down to Mexico. Go down to Mexico. You go to Costa Rica. Mexico.
Yeah,
it's not that far.
But you can, I mean, you can live if you can do that. If you because it'd be a big culture shock to go from what you're used to here in America to go living among the people in Philippines. That would be.
I'm just saying, it's an option if you need to. You want to be out on your ass, or you want to go live over there while the market's down, and you can live like a king while you're recovering, right? It's just an option you should have in your tool bag. Whether you have to use it or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you guys keep finding trades on options? Some weeks I don't trade all because I can't see anything. I don't have any problem finding anything.
I don't have a problem finding anything. I have a problem finding where I want to be. It's sometimes. But I mean, I did a video last week. I showed FinViz. You can look at the FinViz map. You can find things in there. You can go to the full. If you just don't want to look at S&P 500, you can look at the entire VTI basically. You can look at ETFs. There's always something out there.
Yeah, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't have any problem. Normally what I do is when I take something off, I put it back on. And I have a list of tickers that I, like just to look at list of tickers. So I usually just put those right back on. But yeah. Microsoft, Apple, I mean, QQQQ, SPY. What else, Gerry? Smith & Wesson.
No, I'm done with Smith & Wesson. It's shot up over $30.
Oh, wow. Zoom, BABA, IWM, TNA, EOG, XOP, Square, PayPal, Apple, RK, Palantir, LMT, Caterpillar, CP or CPB. It's a piece of junk. Are you down with me? Beyond Meat, Boeing, Tesla.
John, did you say John Deere? John Deere.
I think I closed my John Deere.
I closed my Caterpillar. I left my John Deere up.
Visa, MasterCard,
Intel.
There you go.
AMD.
AMD. I haven't done one AMD in a while. MU. Let's see. When are you confident in your ability to control your okay, he's just answering him. When you're confident in your ability to control expenses, yeah. It all comes down to expenses. People think that because they are spending $100,000 today when they retire, they're going to be still spending $100,000. That's usually not the case. They usually end up spending a lot less in retirement.
Your retirement spending usually looks like a bell. So you at first you're spending a lot because you're excited and you're going to go do some stuff, but as you get older, that expense is just going to drop. So
you see, 2 kids in college. I have 2 college kids. He's probably got 2 college kids.
That means you're paying.
They're on their own. You don't pay for that. I had to pay for all my college. What are you talking about?
I was going to say that. I was like, I told my kids, I was like, if you want to go to college, you're paying for it. I'm not. I mean, that's your adult.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I think a lot of kids, I mean, I don't know. My college was like $35K or something like that. Now, I had a lot of paid for by companies I work for. Like, everybody's seen the video, seen it. But the thing is if I have kids, I would still start a plan the day when they were born. And I'd throw 10 or 20 grand in there for every kid, right? And then by the time they're 18, 20 years old, there should be a pretty good amount of money in there. It'll give them a head start. And then on their own at that. I'm not freaking paying a dime after that. I'm not paying for their wedding either. They can go get married in a courthouse. Jeez. It's a total waste of money. I'm sorry. The more you spend on the wedding, the least amount of time the freaking marriage lasts anyway. Let's see here. Bubble tape. I remember that. Yeah, shredded jerky, baby. What's up, man? Let's see here. Not complaining, but it's challenging reaching fire as a single. I agree. Single income household. Gotta be creative. Yeah, you gotta take care of those cats too. That comes first. That's first. Candy cigs.
Dehydrated Pepto-Bismol.
Dehydrated Pepto-Bismol. That's funny. Yes, the rule of 55. I've not heard that one before. It must be like I'm not that age yet to know what it is. Like that whole how RMDs work, how all that other Medicare, all that crap. I'm gonna go through it, but I don't really know shit about it. You know what I mean? I'm just having a hard time finding like a national healthcare provider that you are not tied to a state. That seems to be like the most difficult thing right now. They all want you to be tied to a state. Like, okay, I don't live there. I'm traveling around in an RV. What if I cut my finger off? Then what? That's not life or death. It's not covered. It's like, what do you do? How do you cover? Like, what do you have to go back to the state you're from? Jeez, this country sucks when it comes to healthcare, man.
Got to put the finger on ice and go for a drive.
Yeah, what if you need to flip somebody off? Jeez.
Just hold it up.
Oh man. Let's see here. We got James. Rule 55 is if you leave your company and retire at 55, you can tail the fork. Yeah.
Okay, the next 3 comments are the same pretty much.
There's some nuances there I want answered though.
Okay.
Stephanie C. If you are over 55, leave your job, you can take your money out of the company 401k. Okay. What if you leave your job before 55, but you wait till 55? Can you withdraw the money out of the 401k without the 10%? Or you have to keep working until you're 55? Hell no. No way. That ain't going to happen. If I have to work till I'm 55, none of this stuff matters. I'll be so freaking rich, in my opinion, for myself. Like, I'll have the biggest U-Haul fall in my hearse. I can't even probably spend the money. You know what I mean? Become a philanthropist like freaking Bill Gates. Yeah, can they answer that question for me? Do I have to wait till 55? Can I quit my work now, wait till 55, and then withdraw the money?
Penalty free.
Penalty free, which I'm not going to do anyway, but I'm going to I'll put the money in. Yeah, because I'm not going to touch that side. I don't need to touch that side. I may never need to touch that side. You can take the money out. Yeah, I don't know. Dave, I have been funding the Roth through the backdoor conversions, even though I've had to pay tax. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pay the high taxes. I might do conversions after next year. So I'll wait until like 2023 to do it when I'm in a way lower tax bracket. It makes no sense to do it now in the higher tax bracket. Let's see here. Peter Pumpkin Eater. Let's see here. Peter is the five. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think that is the name. I recognize the name. Oh, yeah. $5 billion Roth was crazy. It's amazing, actually. Just be sure to roll all your older 4Ks up so that current one. I only have. She got rolled out years ago when I quit working other jobs. I think people that leave their money into a 401k after they left their job is kind of. I don't want to call them imbeciles. I think they're dumb because they don't have full control over that money. Roll it over to an IRA. Roll it over to something where you have control over it. Don't leave it in a company 401k. You left that company 20 years ago. Why would you leave it in there? Roll it over to an IRA. Unless I'm wrong, why would I don't know. Anybody have an argument against what I just said? I'm curious. Matt Money, I believe, said he added some cash into his Oh, he did? Oh, jeez, that's what he did. It was $5 billion in two. Yeah, there you go. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
It wasn't just PayPal. It was something else too, but
that's funny because only thing he can access is the 2,000 without paying a penalty. That's funny.
Yeah, but
unless he's 59 and a half.
59 and a half and withdraw boatload of money with no taxes, though, right?
He dies at 59.
That's gonna be a humongous U-Haul. Jeez. GW Gerry, what trades for tomorrow?
No idea.
We'll find out tomorrow when the market opens.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't look at it during the weekend, so.
Did I skip a question from Cody?
If you did, it was way the hell up there.
Probably deleted it. What are you deleting it for? Did you assume gender, blah, blah, blah? You see, how did you find it so fast, Gerry? What's the timestamp?
Oh, I didn't find it. I just said if you did, it's probably way the hell up there.
What's the timestamp, Citizen of the Year?
Because we're still 40 minutes behind.
Oh, here we go. Glad to be back. Dave, are you at 100 shares? Oh, God. It's busting my balls, folks. That's what he's doing. I sold out of 100 shares because I wanted to reduce and put it into some other shit, but now I got to figure out where I was. He's just busting my balls. That's what he's doing.
Timestamp 724. There you go.
Yeah. Co-founder with Elon Musk. Dave, can you elaborate on what a 401k trust is and how you go about setting that up? Think of think of a 401k trust as being very similar to a self-directed IRA. It's almost the same thing, but there's some benefits to a solo 401k. But one of the requirements is you have to have a legitimate business to sponsor it. So in this case here, I was flipping houses. That was my legitimate business. Now I'm not flipping houses anymore. YouTube has become my legitimate business. So you have to have a legitimate business. You have to have a legitimate business to sponsor the solo 401k. You can then, contribute up to $50,000, whatever. I think it's still 19. Actually, it's more than 19. I think the standard $19,000 tax free. But then there's also some like benefits as well from like partial shares or something like that. I don't know. There's some other amount that you can still put in there and contribute, but it has to be, I think, no employees part of the business. There's some other, it's you have full control over it. You don't. There's still a custodian, but you have full control over it. You don't got to get like approval to do anything, as long as it's like a not. I don't know what they say it is. As long as it's not you bought a house and you're living in it or something like that while you flip it. That's not allowed. There's certain things that aren't allowed. You can't do that. You can't like go buy like, a house of a parent, like buy a house and then rent it out to your parents or something like that. There's certain things you can't do, but in general, most investments, real estate, that's what I use mine for. I use mine for notes, but you can buy rentals and stuff, So anyways, yeah, that's what it is. It's a solo 401k, but it's a trust set up there. So just think of it as that's what it is. I don't know. Hopefully that goes into detail. PD does something else differently. He's got, I don't know what his is called. I never heard what his called, but it's almost the same exact thing. Because I think with a self-directed IRA, you actually have to get approval, or they have to write the check for you or something like that. Versus me, I have a bank account that's set up in the Solar 401k, the trust account. So it comes right out of that account. I move it around, do whatever I want to do. The self-directed IRA, I think they have to make the money. They have to make the check or something for you or something. Let's say, who else has a Fidelity 401k then? I used to have a Vanguard years ago, but yeah. It's not Fidelity's fault that the options are limited. It probably comes from the actual employer. That's the reason why the options are limited to what I can invest in. It comes from the employer. But I can still say, screw you, freaking Fidelity, because you worked out some deal where you made it required where I have to quit work to take the money out, right? Like to roll the money out. So that kind of sucks. You stay at the company for 20 years, that money's just sitting in there, in freaking index funds. Not that sucks, but what if I wanted to do options with it, right? You can't get that money out until you quit. Some jobs will let you do in-service rollovers, but it's very rare. And they'll kind of cap it too, but my company doesn't let me do it. And you can thank Fidelity probably for putting that freaking into play. Nah, I can't. Not in my 401k. That's why I need to roll it. Yeah. Like I said, it's dependent on the company. There's not a lot of companies that let you do individual stocks unless it's their own. Rule of 55. Okay, if you want to retire before 59.5, you can leave your 401k funds in your employer plan and take your distribution without paying a 10%.
So if you were to quit your job, you'd have to you'd have to leave it where it's at until age 55.
Oh, that's the SEP thing where you set up. I think it's it's like fixed payments, right? Like it's fixed withdrawals, like it's set out like probably in a plan, right? I don't know how it works. Like, how do they know when you're going to die? How much can you take out as much as you want? I mean, yeah. Honestly, I don't know if I want to do that though. I would rather just roll the money over to my solo 401k, which is at Schwab, right? It's called a CRA there, company retirement account. Put it in there, and then I can do whatever I want with it. I can do options in there. I can do, I mean, granted, it's kind of limited on options, right? So it's like a level 0, but right, I might be able to get a level 1 or 2. Somebody said, if I call or bag or whatever, I don't know. Why would I need to do this though? I don't have to worry about the 10%. I mean, I guess because I don't really plan on using that money anyway. I have enough money on the non-retirement side. I don't know. I need to look more into it. We need to have a discussion in the Thursday night chat or some other chat, like private chat or something. Maybe James, Richard, who else was in here? Whoever else is in here that knows about it, that's in the Discord, let me know. Maybe we'll do a private chat about it. That'd actually be kind of cool. Yeah, I brought up early withdrawal without penalty from forfeit. I see if I have control over what to invest. Another unknown is what the tax rate will be. Honestly, I don't think they're going to modify. I think it's screwed up, effed up, absolutely effed up. If the government starts modifying stuff like that, the people that have been retired for 20 years, what are they going to do? It's kind of sad if the government does stuff like that. I don't like that. I'm not too worried about it myself personally, but I just don't like the government changing stuff drastically. Like I talked about, one of the years where, they raise up the registrations fees, 1,000% or something like that. 5%.
I would think they'd have to grandfather in current retirees.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. No, everybody has to pay this, but no. When you ever heard that coming out of the government's mouth? Let's see here. I own a ton of ET, but premiums aren't great on it. Yeah, you go. You agree. Don't trade options on shit stocks. That sounds like something I'd say. You might be repeating something I say. Don't trade options on shit stocks. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Let's see here. I think 55 and older rule. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. You just take out money. Yeah, okay. Like I said, need to learn more about it. I probably won't do it, but I don't know. We'll see.
So I guess it is the SEP because Dan's talking about it here.
Yeah, it's a SEP. Somebody talked about it like, I don't know, a while back.
Next comment down.
Yep. Somebody put it in there months ago, weeks ago, whatever. I just haven't had a chance to really dig into it yet. I have to see if it fits into what I'm trying to do. Right now, it's like I said, I roll it out, put it in the Schwab account. I need to look into it, Gerry. Like I said, let's do a private talk about it in the Discord. That'd be kind of cool. Let's learn me something. Right, Ann, couldn't fit enough text in the comments. Let's see. Unexpected good luck. That's not something I have. Yeah, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Let's see here. What is a good brokerage to use for options? IB, Interactive Brokers, for sure. Hands down. Some people might disagree, but tasty trades. I'd say if you're going to think or swim is good too. But when it comes to margin, man, Interactive Brokers can't beat it. Yeah. Your interest rates are super low too if you actually wanted to pay interest. But
and learning about them, I mean, Tasty Trade, Thumper, Dave,
you, Discord.
But brokerage, if you need Tasty Trade, I think has got great series out there on YouTube. So somewhat difficult to follow in a sense. If you're not familiar with, you got to really start at the basics, the what the terms mean and things of that nature. Because if you just pick a video, you're going to be like, what the hell are they talking about? So
watch Thumper's video then, just 101.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the problem with Tasty Trade. You actually finding like something that starts from nothing might be hard, right? I don't know. James might actually have stuff on, he might actually have maybe some links or something that say, okay, this is where, he's come across the videos and he's kept them or something like that, to how to start, because you could get lost on their website, on their YouTube channel. Like, it's just, and you're not, I mean, you can get lost. I don't even know how to say it. And they go off in the weeds, deep dive, deep throat. Did I just say that? Yeah, I think so. M1 set and forget mindset. Absolutely. I agree. It's just not for options. Yes, you should try to collect the 33%. There you go. So yeah, 100 wide, $33, Jerry. When you figure out how to automate script for Jerry's, oh no, it's already there. It already works.
It's done. I just don't know.
I didn't come up with it, by the way. I was just testing it. It's out there on GitHub. It's called Theta Gang. And I've been using it for several months now in a paper account. Works fine. Absolutely. Easy peasy. I'm going to end up using it. The problem is you need to have a computer that's running, 24 hours a day. Can't run it from a phone. So that's the issue. Like, if I'm on the AT, I'm not having a computer with me. Maybe I need somebody to trade my prop account. Jerry.
Oh, it has to run 24 hours a day?
No, it doesn't. It has to run on a scheduled task, though.
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
You can run it manually, but it has to run it doesn't even have to run every day, actually, but you should technically run it at least once a day. There you go. Unexpected. Yeah, exactly. Tasty works, for sure. Yeah, all good. Surprised she hasn't fallen asleep yet. Past her bedtime. I haven't got to the bottom yet. She's probably already gone to bed. Good night. Good stream. Hey, thanks, Damien. Let's see here. Unexpected good luck. Yeah. We got investing teacher. Let's see. My teacher pension will cover 85% of my pay when I'm 60, but been teaching my whole life. Do you have to wait till you're 60?
See, that would be a deal breaker.
That's the problem with pensions, in my opinion, though. Yeah. Pensions, like, it's the golden handcuff rule, the golden handcuffs theory, right? Like, oh yeah, I'll get covered, but I gotta wait until I'm 60. Yeah, I'm gonna make a pretty good pension, but I gotta wait till I'm 59. Those are the golden handcuffs. I hate that. Like, I get it. If I had a pension until I was 55, I'm so glad I don't, honestly. Of course, my mindset would be completely different if I had a pension, but I'm just so glad I don't, because I don't freaking be dead by the time I'm 55 years old. Let's see here. Do y'all like leverage ETF? Like, yeah, I do TNA and TQQQ. What's the other one, Jerry?
For options. The other one, SOXL.
No, what's FNGU?
I think that sounds like you're cussing me out, but
that's
sounds
exactly
like
what it sounds like. Look you!
I think it's an energy one.
FNGU.
I think it's the energy one. I've heard of it. I haven't traded it.
It's triple. You know what? I'm gonna add that one to the list. Thank you for that one, Alex. FNGU. I use SOXL. I like SOXL. I just haven't put one on because it's a monthly, and I have to go out like 60 days or something at this point, so I haven't put it back on yet.
Oh, it's the Fang. Interesting. Oh, they don't have options. What?
There's no options?
It's not showing up on Yahoo anyway.
I mean, look, I have IB up.
But he's asking for capital appreciation. No, I wouldn't own them. Well, I would own them in a market crash, but I would not own them at this point.
Yeah, I don't think there's options on fuck you. Fuck you. No, there's no options on it. Oh, what? Hang on a second here, folks. No, there's no options on it. Um, I don't. So when it comes to common, if that's what he's talking about,
That's what he's talking
TQQQ. I've already talked about my strategy with TQQQ. I would definitely go long TQQQ or use leaps for TQQQ on a market like major pullback. But as far as like holding long term, that's just not me. I'll trade options on TNA and TQQQ all day long, but I'm not going to buy the common. So on a crash, TQQQ for me. Knowing what you know now, what would you do as a 30-year-old with a couple $100,000? That's a come on. I'd wait for a crash and put it all in TQQQ leaps.
There you go.
I mean,
Or I mean, I wouldn't have been working the way I've been working the past decade and a half.
if I know what I knew now, that doesn't go back in high school and say, you know what, that's such a
Yeah.
piece of shit when I was in high school. I'd bag you and I'd bag you and I'd bag you. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would do. We all want to think like that, you know. Oh, if I was back in high school now, you know, like, of course, we all have confidence in shit now, you know. We all have our teeth. It's just, yeah, TQQQ. I would do that in the 2020 crash. Like, that's the thing that we all, yeah, I invested a boatload of money during the 2020 crash, but it was in common. Why not use some leaps? Why not get into TQQQ, right? So that's what I would do differently. Plus, I'd probably be doing options a lot. Even though I've done options for a long time, I would be hitting them hard, I think. That's what I would do. Not to mention probably, all those past opportunities I had with all these hot girls. But let's see here for cap appreciation. Yeah, I'm not really big on that personally. I'm not really the person to answer that question. I like controlling my income, my capital. Like cap appreciation is something you hope you get. You know, just never really been a buy and hold person, Jerry.
Me neither.
This dividends investing is about the longest I've ever invested in, like holding wise. You know,
Yeah.
Marna and Riot. What did Damien say earlier? Don't invest in shit stocks.
Don't sell options on shit stocks.
Yeah. Don't forget Neo, Dave. Yeah, I watched your video today. You said I'm in solid positions or whatever, and I see Neo there. I was like, what is he talking about? I'm like, Neo's not solid. What's up, Charlie? We all good here. See, I told you. Oh wait, she might be saying good night to herself. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
David Hibson. Let's see here. Thoughts on buying calls on VIX? Don't like it. Don't like it. It doesn't work how you think it works. You're going to. So he's buying calls? Yeah. The thing is. Oh, so wait. Then immediately saw a good to cancel order with strike 20. The problem with it, buying calls, it's just going to be a waste of money. That's what it's going to be. 20 is not too far out of the question, though. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I've ever tried to do anything on the VIX, it just bled off on me, and it goes down 5%, and then it goes back up 5%, but I'm still down. Like it's one of those ones that bleed off, and and then I was just happy to get out flat. You're just waiting around like for a big old spike and freaking. You're waiting for Hot Lips to say something basically. And granted, Hot Lips says stuff all the time that's stupid, but I mean, not everything takes the market, so I don't know. That's not a bad strategy. It wouldn't be one I would do. I don't know. What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I have a tough time buying stuff.
I agree. Let's see here. We got Dave. When's the next album dropping?
You had a first one?
Yeah, I have one hit wonder. I'm not a singer. Talking about my AT&T songs? Is that what you're talking about? So he's probably done. John RC, thanks for another great stream, guys. Lots of helpful. Thanks a lot for that, John. See, Jamie Lopez. The less tickers and the more you know how they move. Yeah, it's actually very true. I really just have a subset of tickers, and that's what he's saying here is very true if you're day trading too. Learn one ticker, learn it very well. Like learn that company, everything inside and out, how that company trades. Because they all trade differently. Like Google does not trade like Amazon. They trade completely different. The options act different too. I've noticed that like you can't go as wide on like Google. You get down there in the weeds, there's nothing there. The less tickers, yeah, I agree. So Charlie, what are you working on these days? That's a good question. Let's see here. No, you have to be over. Oh, okay. Yeah, screw that. I ain't wait until 55. I don't want that money just sitting there in there for 7, 8 years, where I have no control over to it. Can I roll it out into my CRA, my solo 401k, and then still do what you're talking about? Does it have to stay in the company 401k? Can I roll that money into another retirement account and then do this? No, you can't leave early. Okay, but still, wait a minute, I can't leave early. I have to work until I'm 55 is what you're saying? This is out of the question then, period. I ain't working to 55. Not any way, no hell. I don't care if I was $10 million about 55 years old. Ain't working to 55. All right, done cleaning. What'd you clean? Let's see here. My accountant and I figured it out. Based on the returns you can make, it is well worth it. Think about it. I ain't working to 55.
What's he talking about?
What's that?
Next comment, he says what he's talking about.
You can trade options in the Roth and make 1% a month. I know that, but what you're saying is it had to stay in. Well, maybe this is not the same thing. He's not talking about the same thing. Yeah, I get what he's saying here.
Yeah, it'd be just a one-time tax penalty, and then you just make it up from there.
Yeah, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to wait till I quit work. But you got to also understand, I have options income, I have interest income, I got dividend income, so all that's going to be in there. You want to stay below that 200K mark if you can. Otherwise, you're going to add another freaking NIT tax, freaking Obamacare tax in there. I'm not going to pay Obamacare tax anymore. I'm not married, so that don't matter. You get married just so I can convert money, darn it. Then get divorced. Yeah, I don't know. He's right about that. Just take the penalty and then you can make the money back. But that's kind of what I'm going to do on the flips, honestly, probably. But I don't know. He's talking about a different thing here. He's not talking about the SEP thing here. He's talking about what we were originally talking about, converting money, putting into the Roth. Like I said, I'm not against it. I just would rather quit work, be in a lower income tax bracket, and then do it. And then I need to figure out how much I'm going to do every year. Split it up by a couple of years. So this is what he's talking about, the quip. It's very similar to a solo 401k. I want to say it's almost the same darn thing. And they just renamed it or coined it something else, this particular company. It's a coined term. It's like a custodian. Yeah, I'm a custodian too, but I still have a like a trust manager, if that makes any sense or something. Yeah, I'm the same thing. With a solo 401k, I think you have over $250,000 in there. You got to do like a 5,500 document or something. You have less than that. The government wants to know how much money you got in there every year. I want to know freaking everything else. You have to be over 55. Oh, so that's the deal breaker right there. That's the deal breaker. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. It's just a deal breaker for me, that right there. It's not worth it for me. I'll wait until 55. It's for older. That makes sense, though. It's kind of a good option for people. It's like your thing where you get to take your money out or whatever because it was a one-time thing or something, Jerry.
Yeah.
Because of 2020 or whatever. I looked at doing that. I couldn't qualify for it. When the government said we could take money out of 401k or something like that. Of course, I looked, you don't qualify. Sucks to get a loan against your 401k and having to pay it for 5 years. The solar 401k, I can do it, but there's like, I think you pay yourself back interest or whatever. But what do you mean by 5 years? You can pay it back as fast as you want. So I don't know what he means by that. Maybe this 401k is different, I'm assuming. I'm hoping they won't do away with the Roth conversion ladder. No, they won't. The conversion ladder really has nothing. I mean, so backdoor Roth is even different than conversion ladder. Backdoor Roth is just a way to get around the 135k limit. That's all that's for. So a Roth ladder really has nothing to do necessarily with a backdoor Roth, by the way. So, anyways, I'd have to do a backdoor Roth, and I don't want to do it because I got an IRA that I had, and it's a little bit more complicated. But I'm still probably going to do a Roth ladder. I just don't. The thing that I said in the video is I don't think I can convert enough money. I don't think I convert enough money more money than I'm making in the Roth, more money than I'm making in my retirement account every year. That's the problem. If I'm bringing in $50,000 in that account, I don't know if I can convert $50,000 every year without blowing me through freaking NIAT tax and all that crap. That's the problem. I convert as much as I can to try to get to zero, but I might have to take a penalty and get all that shit out of there. Let's see, the question for what to do if you're 30 is referencing what would you do now? I'm the 30-year-old I'm asking for. Yeah. Dude, Petey, you're killing it. What are you talking about? Jeez, $1 million Amazon storage shit. You're killing it, buddy.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing. Let's see here. How quickly did you go from 100K to 200K? See my video? It was in there. What about you, Jerry?
Not there yet.
You're between 100 and 2, huh?
Yeah. I'm low 100. Extremely low 100.
When do you think I'm going to break 2? End of next year?
That would be a dream. But we'll see.
I think it's doable. Don't ever underestimate yourself. I mean, you're talking, 10 years, $250,000. I mean, you're going to blow that away. You'd be like 0.5 millionaire or something.
It says 250K is in, what did I say? 4 years? So we'll see.
Yeah, but are you ever going to put more money into as you go along or no?
Yeah, we're going to contribute to it monthly. So.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of waiting till 60 for pension, I have a coworker friend with worth millions that has 32 years invested in pension, going to stay till max 35 years company. Well, I mean, 3 more years. I mean, once you're already that age, what's a couple more years? You know what I mean? I don't know. But seriously, folks.
Next comment.
They don't even make a U-Haul that big. The
next comment, it continues.
Asked him if in 2 years on the new contract, the company ups its contribution to 40 years. Is he going to stay until then? What's the answer? What do you say? Babe. Talking to Rebecca. Yes, roll the 401k to traditional IRA when you leave the company. Yeah. Mine's not going to an IRA. It's going to a CRA. the solar 401k. So yeah, and they'll be able to do options in that account. Let me see here. Okay, I just did that. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I think I already called and asked Fidelity. I'm like, you have to wait 30 days? Because I thought everybody always said you had to wait 30 days, but they say as soon as your company releases that you've been retired to them, they can do it. And they can check, like they can overnight the check to you too. I'm like, hell yeah, overnight that some bitch to me. Because that honestly, I need to get that money out of there and invest it how I want it to get invested before I get to the AT. I'm not leaving it in those where it's at. Let's see. Such a flat ear. Let's see here.
A flat ear.
Said not flat. Flat earer. Yeah. Flat earther. Is anybody a flat earther here? No. Yes, I'm talking about the Roth. The problem with waiting is you lose the 7,000 per year that you can contribute maximum. So you lose. I thought when it comes to conversions, you can convert more than the 7,000. Am I wrong? Maybe I misunderstood that. If I can only convert 7,000 per year, I'm effed. I'm screwed. I'll still do it, but I'll never be able to get that money out of there. I'm always going to be taxed on it because I'm going to generate way more money in those retirement accounts than $7,000. And then freaking RMDs will kick in. I'm really screwed then. You have any? Maybe that's why the 10% thing might make sense, Gerry. Just take it all out, because you're probably going to get stuck with required minimum distributions, and you're getting screwed in taxes anyway. Why not just take the 10% penalty?
And then you got, short-term
Spread it
cap
out over like
gains.
5 years. That way you stay under that NIIT tax, 200K, if you're not married, if you can. Spread it out over 5 years, convert, 50, 100 grand or something like that. And then after the 5 years, it's all out. You've paid the 10% penalty plus a little bit lower taxes on it. Could you make the amount of money up? Because the RMDs are going to push your income up. I don't know how RMDs work. They store at 72, right? 72 and a half.
Yeah, I think so. And then your Social Security might get taxed.
You mean statewide? I'm not going to live in a state where they tax it.
Yeah.
It's not taxed federally.
I think it depends upon your income, other income.
Oh, God. I need to figure all that crap out, folks. That's some serious shit right there that, I've been retirement planning for the last few years. You got to think about it before you retire. Moving stuff around, trying to do it in a tax efficient way, right? I sold rentals. I didn't do them the same year. Just split them up, right? Ideally, it would have been nice to wait till I quit working to do that, but you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I don't know. I would really want to know a little bit more about this here. $7,000 a year. I'll still do it probably, but honestly, it's not going to help much. It's something, but I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I don't have to worry about the backdoor Roth. I definitely got to put Roth in there for you. So just make sure I put that in there. So yeah, I don't want anybody getting wrong idea. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's see here. Okay, ask what you can trade in the IRA, because not all brokers allow you to do options and futures in IRA. Yeah, no, I agree. I can do options in mine. It's just level 0. It's not a margin account, obviously, but I'm pretty sure I've talked to other people that have a Schwab account that have like level 1 or 2. And Schwab's levels are slightly different than Fidelity's and all that stuff too, but I think they have a little bit higher level than I have. I think you just have to call. You do cover calls. Probably do what? Probably cash secured puts.
I can do level I got level 2 in Fidelity.
Yeah, I think level 2 for you is level 1 in Schwab. So, yeah. Backdoor conversions are substitute contributions. Yeah, okay. I'm not talking about a backdoor. I'm talking about quitting work. I'm not going to have W-2 income. I don't think that. I think income, it's probably ordinary income that counts, right? So I don't think dividends count in there and all that crap, right? So I should be okay. I don't need to do a conversion. I just I mean, I convert, but I don't do the backdoor, if that makes any sense. Why is our freaking tax code so difficult, Gerry?
It's so convoluted. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, start 72.5. Let's see. I've been planning this retirement. Yeah, so he's got a couple years on me in retirement planning. I can learn everything from James here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you do videos on all your fire planning. Yeah, I will. Nerds. Yeah, the 7,000 was the contribution limit, which was tax free. Yeah. Well, that's because your income was high. What are your low income? Then you don't have to worry about the freaking, is there a limit then? That's my question. Obviously, you don't go above the 135, right? This conversion counts as ordinary income, but if you stay below the 135, you can convert as much as you want, right? As long as you don't go up to past 135. You don't need to do the back door then. You see what I'm saying there? What a gentleman. Can't understand why Dave is single. You know me. Let's see. Tasty Trade allows futures, which you would probably. Yeah, I can do. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I wouldn't do futures anyway, probably in there. Let's see here. Rajiv. I'm a bit confused about beginning a stream. You were struggling with finding options far out. No, the issue is all the strikes that you normally have available to you on a monthly is not available to you on the weekly, out 5 weeks or whatever. 45, like a good example is I want to go 45 days out. The next week came out, right, which was August. Yeah, August 6th. August 6th is a good example. Not everything that I like to trade had every strike filled in there. Like the strike that I wanted for those tickers was not available on August 6th for many of the tickers.
In other words, the option chain is not completely built out yet.
Yeah. Or it may never be. Well, you're right. It will be built out probably as time goes on, huh? Yeah. But what I was trying to do is roll stuff out that was in profit. Okay, go out another 45 days. And I'd look to put it on, and I couldn't. Unless I really modified the strike to something where I wasn't comfortable with. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. And that's something I've never dealt with before. So those were weeklies. It was just out too far. It was brand new. Is the day it just got released.
But if you're talking about weeklies as far as days to expiration, don't really do weeklies anymore.
Yeah. No, yeah. I still trade weeklies. It's just their way out, but now I ran into this new issue too. The limit is only while you have earned income. Yeah, okay. So no backdoor Roth needed. Convert as much as you want, as long as you go above the 135. Well, I don't even know. I don't know if the conversion counts as earned income or not. I think it does. So it would be options on futures, which is what you could do. Yeah, I'm not doing options on futures. It's too scary for me. I don't know. Yeah. We're at the bottom. We're going for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I actually just look at the time here. I didn't even know we were going for that long. Jeez. We're going to call it quits here, folks. Jerry's got to hit his bedtime. I got to watch Mayans. So, hey, thanks a lot for hanging out, James. Let's do a private get-together in the Discord soon. We'll talk about the SEP. We'll talk about conversions. We'll talk about all this junk. Of course, I'm not going to wait till I'm 55, but to retire. But we'll talk about all this stuff. If anybody wants to hop in there that knows about it, that'd be kind of cool. So appreciate you joining. Go ahead and subscribe to Gerry if you're not. Subscribe to him. GWETF channel. Go ahead and subscribe to my Hidden Off Grid channel. Trying to build that out to 1,000 subs. Give me a little bit more incentive to make a video every day on the AT. So Discord. Yeah. Was anybody here? You put it in there real quick. Let me see. Let me get the Discord. Come on, take care of my moderator should be taking care of this,
There it is. She got it.
All right. There's the Discord there. Unexpected good luck. It's free. Join it. If you don't like it, you can leave. It's all about options. Pretty much is a great group of people in there. They got a lot of experience, way more than me, and just a little bit less than Gerry. But so you know what, Gerry? You got anything to say?
No. Have a good week. Let's get her done.
Let's get her done. Option. Let's see. Account. Let's see. Futures. They're flat. Futures don't matter. All right. Let's hope Hot Lips keeps his mouth off the TV. And we'll see us. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you next weekend, which will be a holiday. We'll give it a shot anyway, folks. All right. Take care. Thanks a lot, everybody. And end this thing.